Chapter 256. Lin Xian, the opponent, is a half-step harmonious spirit expert. Why don't we retreat first? Ice Fairy whispered to him. Do you need help? Yi Dao Lung was full of fighting spirit. Thank you both. I can handle it. Lin Xian shook his head. He didn't want to get Snow Sect involved. Wang Shi saw that Lin Xian still dared to resist, so he didn't say anything. The purple pattern in his triangular eye rotated, and a strong soul fluctuation was emitted. Asterisk swoosh. Asterisk the soul power turned into a giant purple python, biting down ferociously. Soul power materialization. Lin Xian was shocked. This kind of technique was terrifying. It should be a technique that only a third-grade inscription master could use. Thunder rush. The lightning pattern on his body surged. Lin Xian threw out a punch, colliding with the soul serpent. Asterisk bang. Asterisk the two forces disappeared. Lin Xian took a few steps back. His eyes were gloomy. The cold light in Wang Shi's eyes became colder. Not bad. You can actually withstand my attack. No wonder you have the right to be arrogant. However, you're too naive if you want to fight against the purple extreme demon palace with this kind of ability. The purple pattern in his triangular eye condensed into a 3-petaled flower. It rotated rapidly, and a tidal wave of soul power rushed towards Lin Xian. Great dragon, sword intent. Lin Xian's eyes became sharp. There was a faint sword light. An extremely powerful sword intent gushed out from his body. The clouds in the sky were split open, and a strong wind blew in all directions. Wang Shi's technique attack was also blocked. It could not move forward within 30 feet of Lin Xian, no matter how hard it tried. Asterisk clang. Asterisk clang. Asterisk many martial artists' weapons trembled, wanting to fly out. It caused chaos. Damn, it's sword intent. Isn't this brat too terrifying? Genius, a genius in sword Dao. Other than Yi Dao Lung, who was still calm, the others went crazy. Even Wang Shi was surprised. Interesting, but it's not enough. His feet flashed and a purple light flashed. Wang Shi disappeared. Lightning storm. Lin Xian was surrounded by lightning and wind, like a terrifying sea of lightning. Whoosh! Like a piece of cloth being torn apart, the violent sea of lightning was split into 2 halves, and a vacuum appeared in the middle. Whoosh! Purple spiritual energy surged and turned into several poisonous snakes, forming a huge palm that suddenly fell down. When the surrounding sea of lightning came into contact with the purple palm, it began to melt rapidly, emitting sizzling sounds. What a strong poison! It can actually corrode. Lin Xian didn't dare to be careless. He used dragon counterstep and stabbed out with the long sword at his waist. Cloud severing. As the sword light flashed past, the purple palm was cut into several pieces and exploded in the air. The sharp sword qi rushed towards Wang Shi in an even sharper manner. The 3-petaled purple flower in Wang Shi's eyes spun and formed a light screen, blocking Lin Xian's sword qi. At the same time, he clenched his fist, and the surrounding air suddenly condensed, then quickly rushed towards Lin Xian, borrowing the power of heaven and earth. What a terrifying method! The surrounding martial artists exclaimed. The reason why harmonious spirit realm martial artists were powerful was because they could borrow the power of heaven and earth. Although Wang Shi was only a half-step harmonious spirit realm martial artist, he could still borrow the power of heaven and earth with a secret technique. Lin Xian's body tightened. He felt that the surrounding air was like 10 big mountains that wanted to squash him. Ka-ka! Lin Xian's body flickered with copper lightning patterns. His body was incomparably strong. With the nourishment of the great earth spirit liquid, the toughness of his body was 3 times stronger than a half-step harmonious spirit realm martial artist. Wind, lightning, sword wave. A sword wave that was infused with the power of wind and lightning quickly flew in all directions. The condensed space was cut open, and the invisible pressure disappeared instantly. Seeing that Wang Shi's move didn't trap Lin Xian, the surrounding crowd exclaimed again. There was a gap of 1.5 realms between the two of them. Moreover, Wang Shi was a half-step harmonious spirit realm martial artist, which was far stronger than a Sea of Soul realm martial artist. Fighting against those with higher realms, this is a true genius. Many people were envious. It seems like your ability is not even as good as ZXan. Lin Xian sneered. Now it's my turn to attack. Thunder. Sword light soared into the sky, and sword intent surged. In the sky, the clouds rolled, and the faint sound of thunder could be heard. This is the power of heaven and earth. How is this possible? He is only at the 6th sky of Sea of Soul realm. Sword skill. It must be a high-grade sword skill. The surrounding martial artists went crazy. They couldn't wait to capture Lin Xian and study him thoroughly. Wang Shi's triangular eyes also showed a dignified expression. He realized that he had underestimated Lin Xian. Thunder, the second move of the green cloud sword art. It attracted the lightning from the 9 heavens to kill the opponent. Lin Xian had the lightning attribute, so it was easier for him to attract lightning. Such a violent lightning power, and your soul power is also very strong. This voice was like a spring breeze, drifting into everyone's ears. Lin Xian and Wang Shi's body shook. They could naturally feel the strength of this person. Go on, go on. At that time, the Stupa sect will have 2 less competitors. This voice had a hint of schadenfreude. Wang Shi snorted, and his body floated backward. Lin Xian also stopped his sword skill and looked at the newcomer cautiously. The 2 figures landed, completely ignoring the gazes of the surrounding people. You are Lin Xian? I heard that you bullied my sister? The newcomer's voice was filled with dissatisfaction. Everyone was stunned, and then looked at Lin Xian blankly. How many people did this guy offend? The one who spoke was a young man with a smile. Beside him was a young girl with big eyes, who was staring at Lin Xian. Could it be that this fellow did something wrong to her? It's possible. Look at that girl's resentful eyes. Lin Xian was speechless. These people's imaginations were too rich. With a flip of his palm, Lin Xian picked up the snow-white monkey and threw it to the beautiful girl. You can play with it for 2 hours. Wooji wooji. The snow-white monkey rubbed its sleepy eyes and groaned in dissatisfaction. Everyone's face darkened. This monkey's owner was too heartless. Holding the snow-white monkey, Jiang Rui's eyes narrowed into crescents. It seems like it has the power of bloodline. The smiling young man beside her was surprised. No wonder you can't forget it. Good little white, I'll give you some spirit fruits. Jiang Rui took out a pile of spirit fruits. It's actually the Jiang siblings. This Buddha gate has indeed attracted many experts. What's the background of this kid? He can actually invite the Jiang disciples. A group of people whispered to each other, as if they were afraid of the Jiang siblings. Many thanks. Lin Xian cupped his fists. He knew that the Jiang siblings were afraid that he would be taken advantage of. 6th sky of Spirit Sea Realm, able to fight against a half-step harmonious spirit. No wonder my sister was taken advantage of, the smiling young man said. Humph, kid, consider yourself lucky. But you won't be so lucky next time. Wang Shi snorted and walked to the side. The smiling young man made him afraid. Moreover, the most important thing now was to wait for the opening of the Buddha gate. Everything else could be put aside. Lin Xian's expression was calm. If they really fought, he wouldn't be afraid. Even though he couldn't kill Wang Shi, the other party couldn't do anything to him either. Asterisk swoosh swoosh, asterisk 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 swoosh. Chapter 257. Not only were there people from the back, but there were also people from the left and right. Some of the auras were extremely powerful, not losing to Wang Shi, Jiang Xiaofeng, and the others. Buzz! A white figure flashed past, and the swords and sabers below were buzzing and trembling. What a powerful sword intent! Everyone exclaimed. Lin Xian frowned. He was very familiar with this sword intent, and it could be said that it was unforgettable. Lin Feng. Lin Xian clenched his fists, making cracking sounds. He took a deep breath. The sudden arrival of these cultivators startled everyone below. Swish! Dozens of figures landed on the ground, bringing with them a powerful gale. These people's robes fluttered like a gale, emitting a terrifying aura. The person at the front had a powerful aura. He was like the source of the wind, driving the air around him. Ling Feng Zi, the top disciple of the Black Wind sect. Many cultivators in the crowd looked at him with reverence. It couldn't be helped. The Black Wind sect was too famous. This could be seen from the previous performance of the crowd. And Ling Feng Zi was the top disciple of the Black Wind sect. He could be said to be one of the top cultivators on the floating island. Feeling the gazes from all around, the disciples of the Black Wind sect were proud. But Ling Feng Zi was expressionless. With his strength, he should be pursuing a higher realm, not a false reputation. Lin Xian looked at the figure that was like a gale, and his heart was pounding. Wind intent. He had felt this kind of feeling from Shadowless in the Inscription Tower competition. However, Ling Fengzi's aura was obviously much more powerful. It seemed that he had completely comprehended the wind intent. But to what extent? Sword intent and saber intent were also a type of intent. It was just that they were more inclined to attack. Swish! Just as everyone was shocked and envious, a sword light tore through the gale and flashed through the air. The sword light disappeared, and a youth in white appeared in front of everyone. Arrogance and sharpness, like a peerless divine sword, showing off its sharpness. His eyes emitted a powerful self-confidence, as if he didn't put anyone in his eyes. Who is this person? What a powerful aura. It doesn't seem to lose to Ling Fengzi. I don't know. He's not a disciple of the central region. Could he be from the border region? Everyone was puzzled, revealing a pondering expression. However, after seeing this person, Lin Xian's gaze suddenly turned cold. Lin Feng. It's really him. Half-step harmonious spirit, small success, sword intent, said Lin Xian coldly. Lin Feng's strength had exceeded his expectations. Lin Feng was a peerless genius. It's still a little difficult for you to fight him now, Lord Alcohol said slowly. Indeed, whether it was in terms of strength or battle prowess, Lin Xian still had a big gap between them. There's still time. I'll definitely defeat him at the clan assembly. Lin Xian wasn't blindly confident. He had heaven-defying resources like the Earth Spirit Liquid and the Frost Platform. He also had the guidance of a mysterious expert like Lord Alcohol. As long as he was given time, he would definitely grow. After all, strictly speaking, Lin Xian had only cultivated for slightly more than a year. In a little more than a year's time, from martial disciple to the 6th layer of Spirit Sea Realm, with battle prowess comparable to a half-step harmonious spirit. This kind of change had never happened before in the cultivation world. What a strong sword intent. This person is not simple. Jiang Xiaofeng stopped smiling. Wang Shi and the others also felt a little gloomy. It seemed like there were more experts than they had imagined. It's Lin Feng. His strength has become stronger. Lung Yidao and Ice Snow Fairy looked solemn when they saw Lin Feng. Asterisk whoosh. Asterisk, asterisk boom. Asterisk a ball of flame landed on the ground, causing the whole ground to tremble. A heat wave like a sea of fire quickly spread in all directions. Apart from Lin Feng, Jiang Xiaofeng, Ling Feng Zi, Lin Xian, and a few other experts who could resist, the others all activated their spirit armor. So hot. Damn it. What's that? Could it be a meteor? Asterisk whoosh. Asterisk the flames dispersed and a tall man appeared. He was dressed in red and the muscles on his body were like dragons. He was filled with an explosive aura. Meng Yan, he's also become stronger, Lung Yidao said with a trace of battle intent. Meng Yan was the first in Xia country's hidden dragon ranking. His reputation was even higher than Lin Feng's. His strength was unfathomable. Lin Xian's eyes twinkled. He didn't have a good impression of these two people. Meng Yan had fought with him because of the dragon fruit. There was a deep grudge between the two of them. Wu, the snow-white monkey, looked at Meng Yan and suddenly made a funny face. It looked very funny. The crowd was stupefied and started to worry about the snow-white monkey. Meng Yan's strength was at the same level as Ling Fengzi. Such people's face was very important. As expected, Meng Yan's face changed when he saw the monkey's mockery. A few days ago, it was this detestable monkey who had stolen his dragon fruit. Now it had appeared again. Meng Yan looked around and found Lin Xian. It's really you, little boy. Today, nobody can save you. Meng Yan took a step forward. The qi on his body was like a burning flame. Little bastard, hand over the egg. Otherwise, I'll kill your whole family. Another angry roar was heard. It was as if thunder clouds were rolling in, shaking everyone's eardrums. The people of Xingfeng sect are here, and the Mu clan. Many martial artists in the crowd exclaimed. Their voices were filled with excitement. Lin Xian squinted his eyes and looked up at the sky. A group of martial artists landed slowly. Among them, a young girl glared at Lin Xian with killing intent in her eyes. Hand over the egg. Su Xiao gritted her teeth and pointed the red sword in her hand. For a moment, the atmosphere was extremely tense. There were actually two forces that wanted to touch Lin Xian, including the Purple Demon Palace. There were 3 forces. Who is this kid? He actually provoked so many enemies. I don't know. I only know that he's dead for sure. Sigh, what a pity. Many people felt that it was a pity, but more people were here to watch the show. Jiang Rua rolled her eyes at Lin Xian and said angrily, Little White, your master has provoked so many people. He's dead for sure today. Why don't you follow me? I'll give you spiritual fruits to eat every day. Woo! The little white monkey nodded its little head and blinked its black, gem-like eyes. Jiang Xiaofeng also looked at Lin Xian strangely. Brother, you've provoked so many experts. You've got guts. Lin Xian smiled bitterly. He didn't want to make enemies for no reason. But these people had gone too far. It wasn't that no one had gone against them, but those people were all dead. Only he was capable of contending against these forces. Grudges in the martial world are inevitable, but I've never done anything shameful. On the other hand, they've done many dirty things. What did you say? Su Xiao was furious. You snatched our egg, and you still don't admit it. You said I snatched it. Then let me ask you, did I snatch it from your hands? No way. Lin Xian snorted. It's right there. You can't get it, so you blame it on me. What kind of logic is that? You're talking nonsense. Su Xiao gritted her teeth. I saw it first. You saw it first. Lin Xian smiled. Chapter 258. You saw the stupid-gate first, so others can't enter? Lin Xian sneered. Chasing after others when you can't get it? Is this the style of your Star Peak Pavilion? Nonsense, I'll kill you. Su Xiao screamed. Brat, no matter what you say, we won't let you go. And your Purple Demon Palace, don't blame us for being merciless for having such a disciple. What nonsense are you talking about? He's not from our Purple Demon Palace. Not from your Purple Demon Palace? He clearly used an eye technique. Looks like your Purple Extreme Devil Palace is full of nonsense. Pooh! Hearing this, Ziyi spat out another mouthful of blood. He had been chased for so many days because of Lin Xian. Thinking of this, Ziyi had the urge to go crazy. The others from Purple Demon Palace also had ugly expressions. Wang Shi's face was gloomy, and his triangular eyes looked like they were about to spit fire. Everyone, he's not from our Purple Demon Palace. On the contrary, he's also our enemy, Wang Shi said in a low voice. If you want to kill him or beat him up, our Purple Extreme Devil Palace will not interfere. Lin Xian was going to die anyway, so it didn't matter who did it. Besides, he knew that Lin Xian was a tough nut to crack. Star Peak Pavilion had chased after them before, so it wasn't a bad idea to let them suffer a little. For a moment, Lin Xian became the focus of everyone's attention. Lin Feng's eyes moved and paused on Lin Xian for a moment before leaving. A cultivation of the 6th layer of the spiritual C-tier wasn't worthy of his attention. As for Lin Xian returning to the clan in half a year to participate in the clan meeting, Lin Feng thought it was a joke. Lung Yidao and Ice Fairy were a little worried. Lin Xian had provoked everyone who was difficult to deal with. Let me see how strong a shameless thief like you is today. A person walked out of Star Peak Pavilion and quickly charged at Lin Xian. Star Fist. This young man was called Zhang Qing, and his cultivation had reached the peak of the 7th layer of the spiritual C-tier. He threw out a punch, and it was like a falling star carrying a terrifying aura. F***CK, it's actually a mid-grade spirit ranked martial art. Look at this punch, it should be at 60%. Although they had seen Lin Xian's strength, they still couldn't help but exclaim, "Crack! Crack!" Lin Xian was like a thunder god that had descended to the mortal world. His entire body was filled with tyrannical lightning. He stretched out his hand, and the lightning in the sky gathered, forming a huge palm of lightning that was dozens of meters long. Boom! This hit happened to hit the weak point of the astral fist, and broke the fist technique with one hit. Then, a huge palm of lightning grabbed the young man. Impossible. Zhang Cheng resisted with great difficulty. His handsome face had turned the color of pig liver. You, what do you want to do? My fellow disciples are all here. If you touch me, you're dead. Really? Looks like you still haven't figured out your situation. Lin Xian's expression darkened slightly as he exerted more force in his palm, squeezing Zhang Cheng's bones until they creaked. It's broken. Ah, I'll kill you. Crack! Lightning surged, instantly roasting Zhang Cheng's body. The smell of barbecued meat wafted in the air. Bastard, how dare you touch him? You're courting death. The people from the Star Peak Pavilion were furious. Someone dared to make a move in front of them. This was a slap to their faces. For such a large sect, face was the most important thing. However, they seemed to have forgotten that if they hadn't started the fight, they wouldn't have been slapped in the face. What? You want to hit me, but I'm not allowed to fight back? Lin Xian sneered and threw Zhang Qing out. Plop! The people from the Star Peak Pavilion caught Zhang Cheng, trembling with anger. You're finished. No one can save you. Break his limbs and make him kowtow to junior brother Zhang. This kind of person has to be crippled of his cultivation so that he can't do evil anymore. The people from the Star Peak Pavilion were agitated and shouted coldly. If you want to condemn someone, you can always find a pretext. Lin Xian shouted. Come at me if you want to. Don't think you're so great. I'll let you know the difference between us. Don't talk nonsense with him. Let's capture him together. 3 martial artists with powerful auras flew out, planning to attack at the same time. Shameless indeed, but I accept your challenge. Finishing, Lin Xian actually took the initiative to attack. Wind and thunder sword ripple. His fingertip flicked out a sword ripple, containing a fierce dragon sword intent. A deep dragon roar sounded, mixed with the power of wind and thunder, quickly rushing towards the 3 martial artists from the Star Peak Pavilion. Big Dipper star screen. The three joined forces and shot out a bright light screen in front of them. It flickered with starlight and blocked the wind and thunder sword ripple. Dang! 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 The ripples of sword chi hit on it, forming numerous cuts. The power of wind and thunder quickly tore apart the star screen. That power was frightening. However, it was three martial artists at the peak of the 7th layer of the spiritual ocean realm after all. Their defense exceeded the scope of the spiritual ocean realm and wasn't that easy to break through. As expected, the wind and thunder sword ripple pierced in halfway and disappeared. Kid, you can't break through our joint defense. The three stood in a row, and the starlight screen turned into a large net, covering Lin Xian. Dragon counter-step, 7 steps. Lin Xian leaped up like a swimming dragon. Ta! Stepping out, he hit the top of the martial artist's head on the right, and a dragon claw shadow appeared on the soles of his feet, stomping down fiercely. Pum! The star screen shattered, and a bowl-sized hole appeared. That martial artist seemed to have been hit by 100,000 mountains, and everything below his waist sank into the ground. Hiss! Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. How terrifying was the power to cause such an effect! The Star Peak Pavilion disciples in the distance frowned, their hearts hanging in the air. They couldn't understand why a martial artist at the 6th layer of the spiritual ocean realm was so powerful. This was far beyond common sense. Their eldest senior brother Qi Ming's face was also gloomy like ice. Ta! Ta! Stomping the martial artist on the right into the ground. Lin Xian disappeared again. 10,000 miles of starry sky. Milky Way illuminates. The remaining 2 disciples were scared and hurriedly sent out 2 attacks. A fan-shaped light appeared in the middle, dotted with stars, as if it was a real starry sky, but it contained a terrifying, killing intent. The disciple on the left waved out a palm wind like the Milky Way, covering the sky and earth with shocking power. These 2 killing moves were enough to kill any martial artist below half-step harmonious spirit realm, but they met Lin Xian. Although his cultivation was only at the 6th layer of the spiritual ocean realm, his battle prowess was enough to look down on half-step harmonious spirit realm martial artists. Lin Xian's body was abnormally agile, like an azure dragon, shuttling through the clouds. Twisting his body, his right foot suddenly stomped down like an azure dragon swinging its tail, carrying a force as heavy as 10,000 pounds, mercilessly stomping down. Rumble. Puff. Lin Xian took 2 steps consecutively, and the 2 martial artists below were sent flying as if they were heavily injured. 3 peak, 7th layer spiritual ocean realm martial artists were taken care of by Lin Xian with just 3 kicks. This guy, how can he be so abnormal? Zi Ye's voice was trembling. Despicable guy, he became even more powerful. Jiang Riyue pouted her mouth. Meng Yan looked at Lin Xian and laughed loudly. Seems like that fire dragon fruit is indeed extraordinary, to actually let you grow to such a level. Lin Feng, if I kill this guy, your sword pool palace won't blame me, right? Chapter 259. Meng Yan's words caused an uproar. It seemed like Lin Xian was from the same sect as the man with the monstrous sword intent. What sect is so terrifying that they have 2 geniuses who have comprehended sword intent at the same time? However, Lin Feng only glanced at Lin Xian indifferently. Trash like him. No one will avenge him if he dies. The crowd shuddered. It seemed like the relationship between the 2 wasn't that good. A mountain can't accommodate 2 tigers. Many people lowered their heads and sighed. Meng Yan smiled. That's good. Little brat, you dare to steal from me? I'll burn you to ashes today. The disciples of Star Peak Pavilion and Purple Demon Palace laughed cruelly. With a half-step harmonious spirit expert, Lin Xian was dead for sure. Yi Daolong and Ice Fairy's expression changed. Mang Yan was the first in the hidden dragon ranking. His strength and reputation were like a mountain that suppressed them. Now that Mang Yan was personally involved, Lin Xian was doomed. Lin Xian squinted his eyes and said coldly, "It seems like you're determined to kill me." "Killing you is as easy as slaughtering a dog," Mang Yan shouted. Flames rose from his body, forming a sea of fire. A violent and ferocious qi quickly spread out, setting off a scorching wave in the air. "Last time, someone stood up for you. Let's see who can save you this time." He threw out a punch that turned into a fireball that was dozens of meters long. Not good retreat. The crowd retreated in all directions, afraid of being affected. "Brother, should we save him?" Jiang Rue held the little white monkey in her arms and was worried. "I don't think he will be defeated that easily. Let's wait a little longer." Jiang Xiaofeng seemed to think highly of Lin Xian. Bronze thunder body. Lightning flashed on Lin Xian's body, forming a complicated lightning mark that carried a crazy aura. Thunder fist. Lin Xian didn't dodge and threw out a punch as well. Lightning danced wildly, and the azure lightning ball turned into a beam of light that shot into the distance. The lightning and fire collided, creating a dazzling light. 100-meter deep pit appeared under everyone's feet. Countless cracks spread out in all directions. Lunatic, he must be a lunatic. He can actually fight against a half-step harmonious spirit expert? Mang Yan was slightly stunned, and then his face turned gloomy. Body refining technique? Is this what gives you the right to be arrogant? In the face of absolute power, everything is futile. Flaming palm. Mang Yan raised his hand and pressed forward. A fiery red palm of light appeared in the sky. At first, it was only the size of a millstone, but as the surrounding spiritual energy continued to pour in, the fiery palm of light grew larger and larger until it was the size of a house. In front of the power of heaven and earth, you are just an ant. Die. The flaming palm came crashing down like a burning mountain, causing the void to collapse. Wait until you become a true, harmonious spirit, realm warrior. Lin Xian's black hair danced wildly in the wind. His body was filled with a sharp sword intent, and it was as if a dragon was roaring inside his body. Wind Emperor's sword. The sword pierced into the sky, and the surrounding wind danced. The power of wind and thunder turned into a shocking sword chi that soared into the sky. Rumble. The flaming palm slammed down mercilessly and landed on the ground, leaving a huge handprint. Where's that kid? He's not dead, is he? Everyone's heart palpitated. The power of a half-step harmonious spirit, realm warrior, made their hearts tremble. Bang! Just as everyone was guessing, a sword light flashed, and a cold light shone in all directions. Lin Xian stood proudly with the autumn scar sword in his hand. His black hair danced behind him, and he was not injured at all. No way! Even a half-step harmonious spirit, realm warrior, can't hurt him? The surrounding warriors were stunned, and those powerful warriors were also frowning. Lin Xian was an exception, and his strength was shocking their knowledge again and again. Since this guy is our enemy, we must get out of here before he matures. The disciples of Purple Extreme Demon Palace and Star Peak Pavilion had the same thought. Even the disciples of Black Wind Sect had killing intent in their eyes. Half-step harmonious spirit realm. Number 1 in the hidden dragon ranking? Lin Xian sneered. It seems like you've been sitting high and mighty for too long. How about I take your place? With just you. Mang Yan sneered. Although you have sword intent, it's not invincible. Buzz. With a flick of his wrist, a fiery red spear appeared in his hand. Mang Yan's aura rose once again, reaching an unimaginable height. This aura, could it be a high-grade, profound, rank treasure? Lung Yidao's voice was trembling. Wang, Shi, Jiang Xiaofeng, and the others were also slightly shocked. Even Lin Feng was staring at the spear. "If that's all you've got, then go to hell. Flame kill!" The spear stirred up the wind and clouds, and a scorching light rolled out like 5 fiery dragons dancing in the sky. The whole sky was dyed red, and the air between heaven and earth was turbulent. Before the spear had arrived, Lin Xian already felt his body burning. The spirit energy in his body seemed to be evaporating and was quickly draining away. Dragon counterattack, 7 steps. Like a dragon, Lin Xian's body turned into a ray of light. Ta! With 1 step, the shadow of a dragon claw appeared in the sky, grabbing at the fiery spear. Rumble! Lin Xian took 3 steps in a row, and the air shook like thunder. Everyone's heart was beating wildly. Humph! Several cold snorts sounded. Lin Feng, Wang Shi, Ling Feng Zi, and the others quickly cut off the connection. But ordinary warriors couldn't do it. Some of the weaker ones even spat out blood. However, this was only the aftermath of the dragon counterattack steps. The real power was all surging toward Meng Yan. Flame spirit armor. Meng Yan's face was pale. He didn't expect Lin Xian to know such a technique. His body bloomed with light, and his spirit energy surged out, forming a fiery red light armor on the surface of his body, and it was constantly expanding. In the end, a light giant covered in flames covered Meng Yan. This giant was dozens of meters tall, and its movements and expression were exactly the same as Meng Yan, but its power was several times stronger. Puff! The hand the size of a house grabbed down, and had the power to break mountains and rivers. Lin Xian's eyes burst with a shocking sword light, and his body disappeared again. 5th step. Boom! The huge fiery arm broke, as if it was cut off by someone. Meng Yan's face was ferocious, as if he was severely injured. Flame spirit spear! He roared, and a long fiery spear condensed in the air, and its momentum was shocking. But Lin Xian was faster. Like a green dragon swinging its tail, he took another step. Behind him, a giant dragon shadow appeared, baring its fangs and brandishing its claws. The might of this step also exceeded that of the previous few steps. The flame spear in the air suddenly became much dimmer. Clang! Bang! The two collided, and the ground shook violently. The surrounding warriors all retreated quickly. Huge cracks appeared on the ground and spread into the distance. In the air, a storm of lightning and fire intersected, like a destructive ball of light, and spread to the surroundings. This momentum is comparable to a harmonious spirit expert. Many people were shocked. Lin Xian and Meng Yan retreated quickly, but the light in their eyes shone brighter. At this moment, the distant stupa gate suddenly bloomed with light, and its momentum was 1,000 times stronger. Chapter 260. The stupa gate is about to open. It was unknown who shouted, but immediately the black mass of people rushed into the distance. At this moment, no one cared about the battle between Lin Xian and Meng Yan. Everyone rushed to the stupa gate. Purple Demon Palace, Star Peak Pavilion, Black Wind Sect, and other sects also left without hesitation. Kid, consider yourself lucky today. Meng Yan shouted coldly. His body turned into flames and rushed into the distance. The copper lightning runes on Lin Xian's body gradually disappeared. The sharp sword intent also dissipated and lay dormant in his body. Is it going to open? Lin Xian looked into the distance with a trace of passion in his eyes. Swoosh! The snow-white monkey jumped back onto his body and blinked its big eyes. Jiang Riwa pouted her little mouth and was very dissatisfied. However, she was pulled away by her brother, Jiang Xiaofeng. Brother Lin, go fight for the opportunity. Swoosh! Lin Xian's body flashed like a sharp sword and disappeared on the spot. The 1,000-meter tall stone gate was covered with marks of vicissitudes. Lines of runes appeared on it and quickly formed a huge pattern. During this process, the surrounding spiritual energy of heaven and earth rushed toward the stupa gate, forming a terrifying spiritual energy vortex. It's finally open. Everyone was excited. Go in and seize the opportunity. Some disciples rushed in quickly. Ling Fengzi took out a stone token. It shone brightly and formed an inexplicable connection with the stupa gate. What's that? Everyone was stunned. They didn't expect Ling Fengzi to have such a move. In the distance, the young man from the Mu family also took out a token. It shone brightly as well. Everyone's eyes were burning with greed as they looked at the two of them. However, no one dared to move. They had heard of the Black Wind sect's reputation for a long time. Mu Qin from the Mu family was an existence that even the Star Peak Pavilion had to treat with respect. Just when everyone thought there was no hope, Lin Xian's body shone brightly as a palm-sized token appeared above his head. Swoosh! Countless eyes looked at Lin Xian. They didn't hide their greed. Why does that kid have one too? I don't know, but he definitely won't be able to keep it. Brat, hand over the token, and we'll leave your corpse intact. The people from the Purple Extreme Devil Palace and Star Peak Pavilion shouted coldly. Hee, Lin Xian, I didn't expect you to have such a treasure. Meng Yan laughed cruelly. Give me the talisman, and I will consider letting you go back to Jianqi Palace, said Lin Feng coldly. In addition, countless gazes were fixed on him. Damn it! Lin Xian had the urge to stomp his feet. Firstly, he didn't know that the stone token would appear on its own. Secondly, these people were too despicable. They actually dared to have designs on him. Xiao, Xuanzi, don't take it head-on, said Lord Alcohol via voice transmission. But Lin Xian was unwilling, but he had no chance against so many experts. I'll try to see if I can lure out the thing inside, Lord Alcohol said in a deep voice. But there's only one chance. Whether it works or not, I have to retreat. Fine, Lin Xian said through gritted teeth. Wang, without any warning, the stone token above Lin Xian's had blossomed with a dazzling light, like a small sun. What happened? Everyone was puzzled because only Lin Xian's token had changed. Ling Fengzi and Mu Chen's tokens hadn't changed. Rumble. Just as everyone was in a daze, a blurry black figure suddenly appeared in the vortex above the stupa gate. Not good, that kid attracted it. It might be a treasure. We can't let him get it. Everyone came back to their senses and frantically pounced on Lin Xian. At that moment, apart from Lung Yidao, Ice Snow Fairy, and the Jiang siblings, almost everyone else moved. A black object appeared above Lin Xian's head with an ancient aura. Swoosh! Boom! Sword Qi surged and tore through the sky, piercing towards Lin Xian. The saber flashed and turned into a waterfall, mercilessly slashing down. In an instant, all kinds of terrifying attacks surged towards Lin Xian. Dragon counterstep. Lin Xian's body fluttered and moved quickly, shuttling through all kinds of lights. The illusory figure above his head gradually became real. Slash! A dazzling sword flashed and slashed towards Lin Xian. This sword was so stunning that Lin Xian couldn't dodge it. Wang! Lin Xian's body flashed with thunder marks, and at the same time, he quickly slashed out with his sword. Clang! The two collided. Lin Xian kept retreating, blood flowing from the corner of his mouth. The black figure above his head didn't move and gradually disappeared. After a successful attack, Lin Feng once again slashed out with his sword. At the same time, Meng Yan and the others quickly attacked. They couldn't wait to tear Lin Xian to pieces. He's injured, hurry up and help. Brother Lin, run, we'll help you block them. Lung Yidao, Ice Snow Fairy, the Jiang siblings, and the others rushed to help Lin Xian. Ah, Lin Xian roared into the sky as his black hair fluttered in the wind. He quickly slashed out several times. However, he was met with even more attacks. A few of the gasoline blasted his body, causing considerable damage. Run! Lord Alcohol secretly took action and grabbed a wooden box from the black figure above Lin Xian's head. The wooden box was enveloped in multicolored light and emitted a terrifying aura. Lin Xian grabbed the wooden box and looked around. Today you chased after me. I'll return it 100 times over in the future. Lin Xian's voice was cold like a sword beam. Do you think you can escape? Meng Yan laughed maniacally. Kill him and take his treasure box and token. The others roared as well. Boom! The flaming spear stabbed out like a fire dragon. I will definitely take back what belongs to me. And all of you, wash your necks and wait for my return. A black vortex appeared on Lin Xian's body and constantly expanded. Die! Lin Feng attacked with his sword. Wang Shi attacked with his purple pupils, and many others attacked at the same time. The void was about to shatter, but the black vortex quickly disappeared, taking Lin Xian away. Damn it! Ah, the treasure is mine. Many people raised their heads and roared. Brother Mu, what is that token? Asked Feng Qiming from the Xing Feng Pavilion. Everybody looked at Feng Qiming and Ling Fengzi, waiting for their answer. Buddha token. After Ling Fengzi said these 3 words, he didn't say anything else. Mu Qin slowly said, I don't know how to use the Buddha token, but from what happened a moment ago, Lin Xian didn't take all the treasures. Indeed, everybody had seen that Lin Xian had only taken 1 treasure box. Right, that bastard still has my demonic beast pouch. We can find him. Su Xiao quickly said. The people from the Xing Feng Pavilion were delighted when they heard that. Even the others looked excited. If they can get the Buddha token, they can obtain endless treasures. That little boy is cunning. Let's capture him together. Many people wanted to form an alliance with the Xing Feng Pavilion. After that, apart from the Black Wind sect and the Mu clan, everybody else was extremely anxious. During that time, Lang Yi Dao, the Ice Snow Fairy, the Jiang clan's brother and sister, went to the Buddha Gate. The others followed Mu Chen's instructions and started looking for Lin Xian. Lin Feng's eyes were twinkling as he entered the Buddha Gate. Some cultivators chose to wait near the Buddha Gate. As long as Lin Xian was alive, he would definitely come back. An hour later, Ling Fengzi and Mu Chen's talismans dazzled as they entered the Buddha Gate. 1,000 miles away, in a dense forest, tigers roared and apes cried. A black whirlpool appeared in midair, followed by a figure descending from it. Chapter 261. This figure was Lin Xian. He had escaped here with the help of Lord Alcohol. Puff! As soon as he landed, Lin Xian spat out a mouthful of blood. Previously, there were dozens of people who attacked him together, and there were even a few half-step harmonious spirit experts among them. It was already a miracle that he was still alive. Recover my strength first. Lin Xian didn't hesitate. He found a safe place and took out the ice platform and a drop of great earth spirit liquid. As soon as the drop entered his mouth, Lin Xian circulated the longevity art and began to heal his body. The drop of great earth spirit liquid contained terrifying life essence. Under the effect of the mysterious technique, it quickly merged into Lin Xian's body. Multicolored light overflowed, and a vast energy wrapped around his body, rolling continuously. Half a day later, the wounds on his body disappeared. As for the drop of great earth spirit liquid, only half was consumed. Lin Xian didn't open his eyes, but continued to circulate the longevity art. He wanted to break through the 7th sky of spiritual sea layer in one go. Spiritual energy surged. Lin Xian constantly changed seals, and a surge of energy was constantly brewing. A day later, a rumbling sound came from his body, like the roar of waves, and an abnormally tyrannical aura spread out. Seventh sky of spiritual sea layer. Lin Xian opened his eyes, and a smile appeared on his lips. Lin Feng Meng Yan, and Purple Extreme Demon Palace, Star Peak Pavilion. Everyone who dares to attack me, I will behead you one by one. After calming himself down, Lin Xian took out the treasure box. Feeling the terrifying aura on it, Lin Xian gently rubbed it. Let me see what kind of treasure it is. He opened the treasure box with hope. Chi-chi. Just as he opened a crack, a terrifying aura soared into the sky, like a peerless divine sword awakening, wanting to tear people apart. Ka-ka-ka. Countless terrifying sword marks appeared in the cave, and it was a ghastly sight. Lin Xian bore the brunt of it, as if he was stabbed by thousands of swords. Whoa! The copper thunder rune appeared immediately, blocking the terrifying killing intent. The great dragon sword intent in his body rumbled, resisting the sword intent in the treasure box. Wong wong. As if it had been stimulated, the sword intent within the treasure box resonated and emitted an even more dazzling light. Rumble. The entire cave was pierced through, and countless boulders fell down. Terrifying sword wounds appeared on Lin Xian's body. Bang! Lin Xian's body surged with lightning, forming a 10-meter-long protective shield. He quickly rushed out of the cave. Crack! He used all his strength to close the box. In an instant, all the terrifying sword intent disappeared. Lin Xian heaved a sigh of relief and wiped away the cold sweat on his forehead with lingering fear. Instead of being beaten to death by those people, he was almost killed by this box. What is this? It can't be a trap, right? Lin Xian's face fell. In that split second, his bronze thunder body had almost been pierced through, and that was only by a sliver. Stupid, this is good stuff. The improvement of your sword intent is all thanks to it. Lord Alcohol said, Improve my sword intent. Lin Xian pondered. He had indeed sensed a shocking sword intent from the box. This sword intent was much stronger than his small mastery sword intent. Don't tell me it's large mastery sword intent. Lin Xian was moved. But how do I improve it? I can't withstand it at all. You want to reap the rewards without taking the risk. How can there be such a good deal? Lord Alcohol said disdainfully. The greater the risk, the greater the reward. As for whether you want to try it or not, it's up to you. If someone attacks you again, I can't guarantee that I can take you away again. Lin Xian fell silent. He knew Lord Alcohol's situation. He couldn't easily take action. Furthermore, he didn't want to be besieged again. A group of people had joined forces to hunt him down, just because he was weak. He didn't want such a situation to happen again. I'll risk it. I don't want to suffer such humiliation again. Lin Xian's eyes were resolute. All right, set up a formation first to prevent the sword intent from leaking out and causing unnecessary trouble, Lord Alcohol said. Lin Xian nodded. Just as he was about to leave, he suddenly frowned. They actually chased after me. Are they going to chase me to the end? Lin Xian's expression was extremely ugly. Whoosh! His body flashed as he left the area. Moments later, dozens of figures appeared. They were from Star Peak Pavilion. There's remnant sword intent here and some blood. It seems like he's seriously injured. Chase! We can't let him escape. Fang Qiming said solemnly. Whoosh! 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 To the left. In the crowd, a white-robed youth kept issuing orders with a cold expression. He wasn't Mu Chen, but another disciple of the Mu family, Mui. You can't escape. Everything is under my control. Mui sneered as he held a disc in his hand. Suddenly he frowned and his face darkened. There was a moving red dot on the disc that represented Lin Xian. But now the red had disappeared. Mui felt as if he had been slapped in the face. His face was burning. He had just said that everything was under his control when Lin Xian disappeared. This was undoubtedly a slap to his face. Damn it. He must have used some method to hide his aura. Mui roared in exasperation. Don't worry, we'll split up. He's injured, so he can't have run far. Fang Qiming was calmer than Mui. Li He, you take a group to the left. Wu Dong, you take a group to the right. The rest of you follow me. Suddenly, the entire group split into 3 groups and ran in 3 different directions. In the primitive forest, Lin Xian's expression was solemn. He had used the method Lord Alcohol taught him to temporarily seal the aura on the demonic beast pouch. That was how he managed to escape. They've split up. Let's collect some interest first. Lin Xian rushed out like a cheetah. These people were crazy and had chased him for thousands of miles. Naturally, he wouldn't be lenient. Picking a group that didn't have any half-step harmonious spirit experts, Lin Xian used his soul force to cover his aura and quietly approached. The breeze blew, causing the leaves to rustle. The grass on the ground swayed like a green ocean. A team of 8 people, led by Li He, was searching quickly. There seems to be traces of being stepped on. Someone in the group exclaimed. Search carefully, Li He said coldly. The 8 of them spread out in an arc. Their bodies glowed as they carefully searched. This kind of formation could not only increase the efficiency of searching, but also quickly form a defense to prevent sneak attacks. However, they still underestimated Lin Xian. Moreover, Lin Xian's injuries had not only healed, but his cultivation had also increased by a level. Lin Xian hit on a tree trunk and seized the opportunity to suddenly attack. With a flash of sword light, a sharp sword wave surged out, cutting the 2 closest to him in half. Everyone be careful! Li He shouted. Form the formation. At the same time, he let out a long whistle to call the others. Boom! Lin Xian didn't talk nonsense. He slashed out with his sword intent. With a flash of sword light, Li He clutched his neck and fell down. His eyes were filled with unwillingness. Boom! With a punch of his left hand, Lin Xian turned a person beside him into a bloody mist. Lin Xian's expression was cold. If he didn't kill, these people would kill him. In order to survive, he had no other choice. Wind, lightning, sword wave. Sword chi surged. Fine sword waves spread out in all directions. Puff! Puff! Run! The remaining 2 were scared. They ran in the opposite direction. As long as one of them escaped, the news that Lin Xian was not injured would spread. Chapter 262. Swoosh! The sword light flashed as fast as lightning, leaving a dazzling trail of light behind it. The warrior's head flew away, leaving a trail of blood behind. The other warrior was already 100 meters away. He was confident that he could escape from this place. Suddenly, he felt a chill on his back, followed by a heart-wrenching pain. No, this is impossible. The warrior slowly lowered his head, his eyes filled with disbelief. From the left side of his heart, a sharp, cold light pierced out. Woo! A snow-white figure flashed, and a little monkey jumped around with a dagger in its hand. Its eyes were filled with disdain. Boom! The warrior fell to the ground, dead. Even until his death, he couldn't believe that a monkey could kill him. Let's go! Lin Xian waved his hand, calling the little monkey back. He then changed into a sword light and quickly left the place. Swoosh! Swoosh! Not long after Lin Xian left, Fang Qiming and the others arrived. But when they saw the corpses on the ground, they gasped. Li He! The crowd couldn't believe what they saw. Some of them even shouted out loud. There are still remnants of sword intent on these wounds. It should be that brat's doing. Fang Qiming's face darkened. Most of these corpses were his Star Peak Pavilion's disciples. Now, that they were dead. How could he not be heartbroken? This is impossible. Isn't he injured? How could he kill all these people? Even if he couldn't win, he could at least run away, right? He must have a helper. Fang Qiming glanced around and found the corpses of his disciples 100 meters away. The distance between the two was more than 200 meters. At this distance, only a harmonious spirit expert could kill them at the same time. What should we do now? Should we just let him go? Spread the news and let more people look for him. We'll follow behind and reap the benefits. Fang Qiming said in a deep voice, I feel that his strength has increased again. You guys be careful. Then he squatted down and touched the terrifying sword wound. His eyes flashed. Brother Mui, we'll have to rely on you to track this guy's whereabouts. Don't worry, I'll contact the others. I absolutely won't let him escape. Mui said with hatred. Not long after, all the people who were chasing after Lin Xian received the news. Many of them rushed towards the Star Peak Pavilion, forming an even more powerful alliance. After Mui, the Mu family once again produced a powerhouse. This was a beautiful young girl. Her name was Mu Rong, and her strength was above Mui. With the two of them working together, they finally found Lin Xian's tracks again. This time, we must take him down. We must not let him escape. Other than those from the Star Peak Pavilion, there were also disciples from the Purple Extreme Devil Palace and Black Wind sect. There were also disciples from other sections. There were 50 of them in total. Each of them had a powerful aura. If they worked together, they could even fight against a harmonious spirit expert. Hoo! 50 people set off together, and the spiritual energy that covered the sky and covered the earth joined together. It was like raging waves, and their momentum was vast and mighty. When they got close to where Lin Xian was hiding, they stopped. This is the Mu clan's Qi concealing rune. Take it with you, Mu Rong said coldly. 50 people concealed their Qi concealing rune and divided into 5 groups, advancing in an encirclement. Lin Xian was hiding in a big tree. Suddenly he opened his eyes. Lin Xian's eyes flickered as he looked around. His face immediately turned gloomy. The 5 groups were all within 100 meters of him. They would be able to reach him in a few breaths. Damn it! Lin Xian cursed as he pulled out the Autumn Scar sword. Someone had concealed their Qi concealing rune. Looks like you have met your match this time. Lord Alcohol transmitted. Want to kill me? It's not that easy. Lin Xian sneered. If he wanted to break out of the encirclement, these people would not be able to stop him. Taking a deep breath, his body flashed as he quickly retreated. Swoosh! 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 The 5 groups moved and blocked his path. 50 people formed a huge encirclement from all directions, trapping Lin Xian in the middle. Kids, surrender obediently. You should be proud to have so many people chasing after you. Lin Xian, you killed my Star Peak Pavilion's disciple. Today, I will capture you. Hand over the token, and I will leave your corpse intact. Angry shouts came one after another, covering the sky. Lin Xian did not try to be brave. Facing so many people at the same time, even a half-step harmonious spirit realm expert would not be enough, unless he was facing a true harmonious spirit realm expert. Using the dragon rebel step, his speed reached the extreme. Set up the formation. A loud voice resounded as light shone in all directions. You won't be able to escape this time. Fang Qiming roared as he punched out like a meteor. Lin Xian's body kept flashing as he quickly arrived at the edge of the encirclement. Big Dipper 7-star formation. The 7 disciples of the Star Peak Pavilion formed a sword formation with their hands. One after another, huge stars fell down like mountains, bringing along endless astral winds that tore through the void. Get lost! Lin Xian punched out with his left hand while his right hand slashed out with the long sword. The power of wind and lightning surged as his fist turned into a roaring thunder dragon. The sword light shone even brighter. Boom! Clang! The 7 disciples of Star Peak Pavilion swayed, their faces pale. However, even though they were injured, they still managed to stop Lin Xian. In the blink of an eye, 2 half-step harmonious spirit realm experts rushed over from behind. One of them was Fong Qiming from Star Peak Pavilion, and the other was Wang Shi. Haha, here I come. Another fiery red light appeared as Meng Yan descended with sea of fire. 3 half-step harmonious spirit realm experts gathered together. Their aura combined into an ocean, crushing the entire area. This formation was enough to fight against a harmonious spirit realm expert. I didn't expect you to increase your cultivation in just a few days. Meng Yan sneered. So what? Even if you're a half-step harmonious spirit realm expert, you still can't escape. With the protection of the experts from Mu Clan, it's enough to cut off your whirlpool. Fong Qiming was full of confidence. Kiki, Wang Shi's triangular eyes revealed a murderous glint. This was a death situation, but Lin Xian was not afraid. Want to kill me? It's not that easy. Didn't you want this? After saying that, he took out the treasure box. Everyone's hearts burned as they stared at him. Everyone be careful. Don't be fooled by him. As long as we kill him, the item will be ours sooner or later. Fong Qiming reminded coldly. Don't worry, I won't let him go no matter what. What an arrogant fellow. Today, I'll share this treasure box with you. Lin Xian's eyes revealed a trace of madness. Lightning runes flashed all over his body as he activated his armor. Lin Xian exerted force in his palm and opened the box slightly. Whoa! The void trembled as a sharp aura filled the air. Everyone felt a chill in their hearts, as if there were thousands of swords hanging above their heads. Crack! Crack! Lin Xian opened a third of the treasure box, and suddenly a shocking sword intent rushed out. This sword intent formed a solid sword ray that shot out in all directions. Ah, run! Like the birth of a heavenly sword, it swept in all directions. Chi! Dozens of martial artists were too slow and were killed by the sword intent. The faces of the 3 experts besieging Lin Xian also changed, and they quickly retreated. Chapter 263. The faces of the 3 experts turned green. At such a close distance, all the hair on their bodies stood on end. Damn it! Why does he have such a terrifying thing? Is this a treasure box or a demon box? The 3 of them retreated quickly, raising their speed to the limit. However, the sword intent was even faster. Lin Xian held the bottom of the box and aimed the crack at the 3 of them. The terrifying sword intent split the surroundings, threatening Meng Yan and the other 2. Puff! Meng Yan's shoulder was pierced, blood spraying into the sky. Chi! Chi! A terrifying sword mark appeared on Fong Qiming's abdomen, and his intestines were about to fall out. Wang Shi's soul was the most sensitive, so he left in advance. Even so, there was still a cross-shaped sword mark on his chest. At this moment, whatever protective spiritual armor he had was of no use at all. This sword intent seemed to be able to destroy the world, making one's heart tremble. Swoosh! Swoosh! After the first wave, the terrifying sword intent attacked again. An aura of despair surged in everyone's hearts, and they fled in all directions. Lin Xian did not care about those small fries at all. Instead, he stared at Meng Yan and the other 2 martial artists from the Mu clan. He hated the 5 of them to the bone. Why do you have to kill us all? We're disciples of a 3-star sect. Even if you kill us all, you won't be able to escape. Think about your family. Can they withstand the wrath of a 3-star sect? Lin Xian, I don't want your things anymore. Let us go. Swoosh! Swoosh! Lin Xian was expressionless as he charged at the 5 of them with the sword intent treasure box. At this critical moment, Meng Yan and the others took out their life-saving tools and blocked in front of them. Clang! Clang! A piece of dark red broken armor enlarged beside Meng Yan and blocked the terrifying sword intent. Fang Qiming, on the other hand, took out a stone that looked like a star. It emitted a misty light that protected him. Wang Shi took out a purple inscription and activated it crazily, forming a dense array of runes around him. The 2 martial artists from the Mu clan worked together to form a yellowed picture scroll that formed a mountain and river, blocking everything. Puff! Lin Xian was the closest to the treasure box, and in the process, he received a lot of sword intent attacks. Fortunately, he was at the back of the treasure box and wasn't directly hit by the sword intent. However, that aura wasn't something he could withstand for long. He's injured. This is a good opportunity. Let's exhaust him to death. Wang Shi's eyes emitted a vicious light. Let's go. The 5 of them joined forces and walked over step by step. Let's see who dies first. Lin Xian's eyes revealed a hint of madness. He widened the gap on the treasure box and, at the same time, used the great dragon's sword intent to stimulate it. Buzz, buzz, buzz! The sword will erupted like a volcano, forming a terrifying sword chi space within 1,000 meters. Ah! Wang Shi swung his sword again, and his body was dyed red with blood. Madman, this is a madman! Could this be the great success, sword intent? Meng Yan's eyes were filled with fear. Retreat, Murong said coldly. That kid won't survive. No one can resist sword intent at the phenomenal stage. The 5 of them retreated, pushing their protective treasures to the limit as they quickly retreated. Stay here for me. Lin Xian's body flashed with lightning runes, and the armor on his body emitted a glow. He even had a drop of earth spirit liquid in his mouth. He held the sword intent treasure box and raised his speed to the limit. No, you can't come over. Meng Yan and the rest were finally afraid. They had never seen such a crazy person. 5 figures soared into the sky and flew in all directions. Each of them fled in a different direction. Buzz, buzz. Behind them, 5 streaks of sword intent with a destructive aura surged and rushed toward the 5 of them. Ah! 5 screams rang out, and the sky was dyed red. It was a tragic sight. However, no one died. Meng Yan and the rest quickly escaped. More than half of the disciples with average strength were killed by the terrifying sword intent. Whoosh! Lin Xian stopped his pursuit. He stood on the spot, not daring to move. Within 100 meters, there was not a single living thing. Several terrifying sword wounds appeared on his body, and in some places, white bones were exposed. Damn, this is too terrifying. Lin Xian could not hold on any longer. Buzz! Bam! The 2 sword intents constantly clashed, emitting a destructive aura in the void. The surrounding mountains and trees were sliced into countless pieces, and some were even reduced to dust. Uft! Lin Xian spat out another mouthful of blood, and there were a few more sword wounds on his body. In order to protect himself, Lin Xian closed the treasure box with all his might. Ka! Ka! The copper lightning rune on Lin Xian's palm turned dim as the terrifying sword intent left deep cracks on it. Drip! Drip! Blood kept flowing. Thankfully, Lin Xian had the earth spirit liquid, which was brimming with vitality. Furthermore, he had consumed it in advance. Otherwise, just the bleeding alone would have killed him. Lin Xian seemed to have used up all his strength to close the treasure box by 1/3. Let's see if you can attain small mastery of sword intent. Lord Alcohol sent a voice transmission. Okay, Lin Xian agreed through gritted teeth. He powered his great dragon sword intent with all his might to resist the sharp sword intent in the treasure box. Invisible forces collided, forming a world of sword beams in all directions. The clouds in the sky were sliced into countless pieces. Roar! Behind Lin Xian, a dragon's head vaguely appeared. It was ferocious and terrifying as it roared towards the sky. Buzz! The sword intent in the treasure box became even more intense. It was like an indestructible heavenly sword, rushing in all directions. This process continued. Lin Xian seized the precious opportunity to quickly comprehend and perfect his great dragon sword intent. New wounds appeared on Lin Xian's body one after another, while the old wounds were healed by the earth spirit elixir. A day later, a loud dragon's roar resounded, shaking all directions. A violent and unruly sword intent soared into the sky, as if it was going to tear the sky apart. The dragon behind Lin Xian roared ferociously. Other than the dragon's head that was more realistic, it also had sharp dragon claws. Small success, sword intent. Lin Xian laughed. With the sword intent on his body, he closed the treasure box. His body was still bleeding, and horrifying wounds were densely packed. However, there was a smile on Lin Xian's face. This was the sword intent that he had exchanged with his life. Using his spirit energy to seal his wounds, Lin Xian used all his strength to refine the earth spirit liquid in his body. His body disappeared from the forest. A few days passed in a hurry. The news of Lin Xian using the treasure box to fight against the experts spread everywhere. While people were amazed, it also aroused a deep desire. That treasure box was only one of the many treasures, but it was already so powerful. How powerful would all the treasures be? If they could obtain the stone token, they would be able to possess all the treasures. At that time, they would be able to kill even a harmonious spirit expert. For a moment, the search party for Lin Xian became even more powerful. This was because there was news that Lin Xian had been killed by the sword intent. Whoever could find his body would be rich. In the horrifying forest, a vacuum zone suddenly appeared. There were no trees, no rocks, and the ground was filled with horrifying sword marks. It was like the scene after an earthquake. This was the place where Lin Xian fought against the 5 experts. And now, many warriors had appeared. There's so many corpses. Which one is Lin Xian's? The crowd began to search. Chapter 264. While everyone was searching for Lin Xian's corpse, on the other side of the forest, Lin Xian was trying his best to heal his body. Behind him, the waterfall splashed. Lin Xian sat in the pool, his body constantly overflowing with sword energy. The sword intent in the treasure box was not only extremely sharp, but also very difficult to remove. It was as if it had an indestructible will. Fortunately, Lin Xian had the great dragon sword intent, which could quickly erase the indestructible sword intent. A day later, he removed all the indestructible sword intent in his body. After resting for half a day, Lin Xian's body returned to normal. To be able to recover from such a serious injury in just 2 days, this speed was shocking. Perhaps even a harmonious spirit realm warrior might not be able to do it. There were 3 main reasons why Lin Xian could do it. First, he had the great dragon sword intent in his body, which could quickly erase the indestructible sword intent. Secondly, Lin Xian had the earth spirit liquid, which was the life essence in his hands, so his recovery speed was heaven-defying. As for the life essence, other than the little white monkey keeping some, Lin Xian also gave half to Lord Alcohol. As for the golden demon egg, Lin Xian also dripped a few drops. Now, Lin Xian only had a small bottle left. It was used to save his life. Lastly, the longevity art he cultivated also had the effect of rapid recovery. These effects combined allowed Lin Xian to recover in a short period of time. However, the others might not be able to recover in such a short period of time, even with the help of spiritual herbs. Lin Xian had calculated this point. He was prepared to catch them off guard. As for how to find them, that was even easier. The indestructible sword intent was very special. It was like a star in the night sky, very obvious. Lin Xian had a strong soul force, so it was not difficult for him to find them. Swoosh! He turned into a sword beam and left the waterfall. In the dark cave, there were 2 balls of purple fire that were flickering like will-o'-the-wisps. If one looked carefully, they would realize that these 2 balls of will-o'-the-wisps were the eyes of a person, and this person was Wang Shi. He activated his flame of the soul and kept burning the remaining inextinguishable sword will in his body. Suddenly, Wang Shi frowned. The purple flames in his eyes kept changing, turning into purple pupils. Whoosh! He slapped the ground with his palm, and his body flew 10 meters away. At the place where he was originally sitting, a sword light flashed. The sword intent surged, and the entire cave collapsed. Whoosh! 2 figures soared into the sky and flew out from the rubble. Lin Xian, you're not dead? Wang Shi looked at the figure in front of him, his pupils constricting. He couldn't help but be shocked. Lin Xian's injuries that day were much more serious than his own. There were many places on his body where white bones could be seen, but now he was still recuperating, while the other party had already fully recovered. Looks like you must have some divine healing medicine. If I kill you, I'll be able to recover immediately. Wang Shi's eyes were burning with passion. Kill me? Do you have the ability to do so? Lin Xian sneered and looked at him with disdain. Brat, you're courting death. Wang Shi was furious. His triangular eyes flashed with a terrifying light. Just as he was about to explode in anger, a cold light flashed behind him and stabbed into his body. He used all of his power to support his spiritual armor and swept his hand behind him. Whoosh! A white figure flashed past. The snow-white monkey was holding the cold star dagger with a proud face. Damn monkey, I'm going to kill you. Wang Shi's face was horrifying. A bloody hole appeared behind him. You won't have the chance. Lin Xian raised his speed to the extreme, and a sharp sword light shot out from his body. He waved his arm, and the autumn scar sword shot out quickly, drawing a strange trajectory in the air. At the same time, a shocking sword intent poured out like a dragon's roar. This is... The furious Wang Shi's expression changed instantly. Small success, sword intent. You've broken through again. He almost bit off his own tongue, and his body was a bit sluggish. He could be considered a genius, but compared to Lin Xian, Wang Shi felt like a piece of trash. Lin Xian's growth speed was something that he didn't even dare to imagine. The sword light flashed and was about to hit his body. Extreme purple inscription. Wang Shi's eyes kept changing, and a purple rune flew out, forming a purple light screen in front of him. Ding, ding, ding. The sword chi clashed with the purple light screen, producing a series of ding-dong sounds. This purple light screen was indeed Wang Shi's life-saving item. Back then, it had even blocked the undying sword intent, and now it had blocked Lin Xian's small success sword intent. However, that huge power still made Wang Shi take a few steps back. I don't believe that you can keep using it. Lin Xian sneered as he kept waving his long sword. Wave after wave of horrifying sword chi landed on the purple light screen. Wang Shi was very regretful right now. Why didn't he ask Ziyi and the others to protect him? However, he was suspicious by nature and would not meet others when he was seriously injured, especially if they were from the same sect as him. This also gave Lin Xian a chance. Wind Emperor's sword. The autumn scar sword became unpredictable, and the sword seemed to have merged with the wind. Shoo! The long sword pierced towards the purple light screen, and this time it was not blocked. The hilt was outside the purple light screen, but the tip of the sword appeared out of nowhere inside the purple light screen. This sword could be said to be the sublimation of the wind art. A purple light flashed in Wang Shi's eyes, and his soul fire floated out, landing on the sword as he backed off. Dang! The long sword shook, and the tip of the sword deviated from its original direction. However, the dragon sword intent had triggered the undying sword intent inside Wang Shi's body, and at the same time, a numbing sensation spread out from his body. Woo! The snow-white monkey laughed proudly. The dagger is poisonous. Wang Shi's face darkened. He activated all the spirit power in his body, trying to expel the poison out of his body. However, Lin Xian did not give him the chance. He kept waving his long sword and, at the same time, throwing out thunder fists, attacking the purple light screen. Wang Shi felt his body go soft, and he could not muster any strength. Even if he was injured, he had to expel the poison out of his body. After making up his mind, Wang Shi suddenly stopped, planning to take on Lin Xian's attack head-on. Sword Spirit Space. Lin Xian stabbed out his sword, and at the same time the inscription in his right eye flashed, performing the illusion space. Wang Shi was originally anxious, and he was careless. The poison that had just gathered in his body spread out again, and his soul was also heavily injured. The purple light screen also faded and disappeared in front of him. Cloud Slash. Lin Xian raised his long sword up high, and the sword intent condensed. A terrifying sword light flashed, and it quickly slashed towards Wang Shi. No. The moment the sword Qi slashed on Wang Shi's body, his soul also regained consciousness. Using his last bit of strength, Wang Shi's body forcefully moved a foot away. The sword Qi that was supposed to cut him in half only cut off his arm. However, Lin Xian did not plan to let him go. Almost 60% of the Wind Emperor's sword and the small success of the dragon's sword intent finally cut off Wang Shi's head. There was a terrifying sword mark on the ground, and Wang Shi's body fell into a pool of blood and his head rolled far away. With a wave of his hand, Lin Xian kept Wang Shi's storage ring. Next, Lin Xian did not stop, and his body glowed, and he quickly left. Chapter 265. Lin Xian quickly passed through the forest. This time, he was going to attack Meng Yan. Because the disciples of the Mu family were too mysterious, the Star Peak Pavilion must have a group of warriors protecting them. Only Meng Yan was alone. Moreover, Meng Yan had bullied him several times with the title of first place in the hidden dragon ranking. This time, he even joined forces with others to kill him. If he didn't get rid of Meng Yan, Lin Xian wouldn't be at ease. In the west of the primitive forest, there was a fiery earth vein with terrifying magma underneath. That kind of temperature could turn a 7th-layer spirit sea realm warrior into ashes in an instant. Whoosh! Lin Xian landed on the ground. Feeling the temperature from the ground, a cold smile appeared on his face. His eyes flashed, and he quickly found Meng Yan's hiding place. Cloud Slash! The sword light flashed, and the small mountain in front of him trembled, quickly splitting into 2 halves. Whoosh! A figure came out. His hair was disheveled, and there was a sword hole on his left shoulder that couldn't be healed. Lin Xian, you didn't die? Meng Yan was shocked to see Lin Xian. When he found out that Lin Xian's strength had increased again, he decisively retreated. You think you can run away? With a tap of his foot, Lin Xian became one with his sword, turning into a long dragon and flying out quickly. Chi! The sword Qi tore through the air and instantly arrived behind Meng Yan. Meng Yan's expression changed. Lin Xian's strength was higher than he expected. He didn't dare to be careless, and a broken dark red armor appeared behind him, protecting his vital parts. Dang! The sword Qi hit the broken armor, making a clanging sound. Although your strength has increased, you're still not my opponent. Meng Yan shouted coldly, I'll spare your dog life today. Get out of here. I think you can't do it anymore. Lin Xian sneered. Small success, sword intent gushed out and quickly invaded Meng Yan's body. Small success, sword intent. Meng Yan's expression changed again. The fiery red spirit power poured into the broken armor, preventing the small success, sword intent from invading. Flame God Fist. Throwing out a punch, Meng Yan's right arm was wrapped in a fiery red spirit power, like a real flame, dancing. At this moment, his half-step harmonious spirit realm strength was fully displayed. His fists were as fast as lightning, and the fiery red fist wind was like a sharp blade, hitting Lin Xian's body with a crackling sound. Lin Xian's lightning runes appeared all over his body, blocking this sharp fist wind. At the same time, his body swayed, dodging this fist. Boom! The fist wind was vast and mighty, and the fiery red light was like a sea of fire, blowing away the trees in front. Lin Xian's purple demon eyes flashed as he quickly searched for Meng Yan's weakness. The long sword in his hand pierced out like a gust of wind. The sword transformed into a myriad of sword lights that enveloped Meng Yan's entire body. Each of the sword rays contained the small success, sword intent, and their power was terrifying. It was like a rain of swords. Meng Yan's expression changed as he pulled up his broken armor to resist. His injuries had yet to heal, so he was unable to use his full strength. Coupled with Lin Xian's terrifying aura, he was momentarily at a disadvantage. Clang! Crackle! Countless sword scars appeared in the surroundings. Meng Yan shrank behind his broken armor and retreated continuously. The myriad of sword lights destroyed everything in their path. Lin Xian's aura was getting stronger and stronger. His long sword turned into lightning, forming a sword curtain in the air. The two continued to clash, causing the earth to tremble and energy to explode, forming a storm of thunder and fire that swept out in all directions. Don't think that you are the only one with the mentality. Meng Yan spat out blood as a trace of madness appeared in his eyes. He held the broken armor in his left hand and the flaming long spear in his right. The spiritual power on his body burned and pulsed continuously. Mentality of fire, spear destruction. The flames were monstrous, burning in all directions, turning all the trees in the vicinity into ashes. Meng Yan thrust out his long spear, bringing with it a scorching light, rolling up a wave of fire that was dozens of meters long. Lin Xian moved quickly in the air. Sword chi surged and sword lights spread out, clashing with each other continuously. Thunder! Sword chi soared into the sky, forming a layer of black clouds above. The horrifying thunder and lightning spread out. Lin Xian's body was also surging with thunder and lightning, as if he was the god of thunder. Destroy! The autumn scar sword fell, and a bucket-sized thunder and lightning struck out from the dark clouds in the sky. Wherever it passed, everything was turned into dust. The ground cracked, and the mountain rocks shattered. Meng Yan's surroundings turned into a sea of thunder. When everything disappeared, Meng Yan was holding the broken armor up high, looking like it was about to fall. Lin Xian, even if I die, I will drag you down with me. Meng Yan activated his secret art, burning all the spiritual power in his body. Like a huge fireball, he shot out at a high speed. Flying fire, shooting star. The mentality of fire surged, and the long spear was like a fire beast, stabbing out at a high speed. The third movement of the Qingyun sword, moon shattering. The long sword swept out, forming a strange trajectory in the air. A half-moon shaped sword chi flew out. Rumble! After an intense collision, the moon-shattering sword chi tore apart the flaming long spear at the last moment, piercing into Meng Yan's body. Dang! The broken armor was blown away, landing in the distance. Meng Yan was still in his charging posture, but his body had been cut in half. The number 1 martial genius of the Hidden Dragon rank had finally paid for his evil deeds. Who? Lin Xian let out a sigh of relief. Fortunately, Mang Yan's injuries hadn't healed yet, or else it wouldn't have been so easy to kill him. Putting away Mang Yan's storage ring, the broken armor, and the flaming long spear, Lin Xian drank a cup of spirit wine and moved out again. Now time was life. He had to make his move before the remaining 3 people recovered. In a valley filled with birds and fragrant flowers, dozens of Star Summit Pavilion's disciples were constantly patrolling. Eldest senior brother's injuries haven't healed yet. It's all that Lin Brat's fault, causing eldest senior brother to suffer such heavy injuries that Brat was already killed by the terrifying sword intent. He got off easy. Several Star Summit Pavilion's disciples conversed, their words full of malice. Someone's coming. A disciple at the peak of the 7th layer of the spiritual ocean tier frowned. Who's there? Stop! Stop! This is our Star Summit Pavilion's territory. Get your ass over here! But the figure didn't seem to hear, still moving quickly. Do it! Kill him! The disciple at the peak of the 7th layer of the spiritual ocean tier said. Now was the crucial moment for their eldest senior brother to recover his strength, and they definitely couldn't let outsiders disturb him. The expressions of the disciples at the front suddenly changed, as if their necks were being gripped by someone. Don't talk nonsense, do it! Lin Xian, Lin Xian. That's the Lin guy, he's still alive. The 2 disciples at the front shouted in terror. Impossible. With that kind of terrifying sword intent, even eldest senior brother was heavily injured after using a secret treasure. How could the Lin guy still be alive? Unfortunately, I'm really alive. An indifferent voice rang out between them. Retreat. Inform the others, get into formation. The peak of the 7th layer of the spiritual ocean tier roared. Wind and thunder sword ripple. The circular, terrifying sword ripple spread out, cutting the surrounding Star Summit Pavilion's disciples in half. Now that Lin Xian's sword intent had reached small success, these people weren't his match at all. Pooh, piu, piu. In an instant, 5 Star Summit Pavilion's disciples were killed, and Lin Xian quickly walked into the valley. Who's there? The disciples inside quickly rushed out, and when they saw Lin Xian, their expressions changed drastically. That madman is here. He's not dead. Quickly set up the Big Dipper 7-star formation. Chapter 266. Lin Xian's arrival caused an uproar. All the cultivators in the valley almost went crazy. However, these people came from a big sect, so their ability to adapt was very fast. After a few breaths, the Big Dipper 7-star formation was formed, approaching Lin Xian. A monstrous aura was emitted, as if there were real meteorites in the sky, causing people's hearts to tremble. Moon break. Lin Xian used his ultimate move. A crescent-shaped sword qi slashed rapidly. Asterisk boom, asterisk the moon break, sword qi slashed on the Big Dipper 7-star formation, causing a loud explosion. Don't think that I can't do anything if you don't come out. Lin Xian sneered, and his body suddenly disappeared. Not good. Quickly protect Big Senior Brother. A group of Star Peak Pavilion's disciples quickly deployed a formation, forming a curtain of stars, covering the place where Fang Qiming was in seclusion. Lin Xian, do you really want to kill all of us? A weak voice sounded. Kill all of us? I'm afraid this is what you did to me. Lin Xian sneered. More than 50 people chased after me, and 5 of them were half-step, harmonious spirit cultivators. What a big deal. Lin Xian, I admit that I was blinded by the benefits, but now I'm also injured. Are you still not willing to stop? Fang Qiming's attitude was very humble. Lin Xian, am not a bloodthirsty person, but I have my principles. Lin Xian's voice was firm. A drop of water, a spring of water will be repaid. Those who bullied and chased after me, I will pay them back 100 times. Lin Xian, Star Peak Pavilion is a 3-star sect. If you kill us, you won't be able to escape. Moreover, your family will also suffer the wrath of Star Peak Pavilion. Don't use my family to threaten me. Tiannan region is so big, whether you can find it or not is another matter. Moreover, my family has the strength of a 3-star sect. Not just anyone can bully us. Therefore, all of you can die in peace. As soon as Lin Xian finished speaking, he slashed out a sword qi that was almost 100 meters long, splitting a small mountain in half. Although I'm injured, I'm not someone you can kill. Fang Qiming seemed to be angry. Lin Xian, this will be your burial ground. Asterisk swoosh, asterisk 2 figures flew out from the cave, forming a monstrous aura. Although I don't know why you're fine, as long as I kill you, all your secrets. Fang Qiming's face was cold. Beside him was a disciple of the Mu family, Mui. Where's the other woman? Come out. Lin Xian fearlessly. These people were all injured and their battle prowess was reduced. Lin Xian was more than capable of handling them. The 2 of us can kill you. Mui coldly snorted. Die for me. Lin to Yang, Xian. Qiming. Lin Xian's eyes flickered as he summoned Qing Nu. At the same time, he ordered the snow-white little critter to secretly search for the last Mu clan's disciple. Asterisk swoosh, asterisk a green figure appeared. The qi on his body was unusually strong. Helpers. Half-step, harmonious spirit. Fang Qiming and Mui's expression turned ugly, but they believed that they could protect themselves if they joined hands. Qing Nu, you go and deal with the Big Dipper sword formation. Lin Xian ordered. Asterisk swoosh, asterisk the green figure flashed, rushing towards the sword formation, while Lin Xian faced Fang Qiming and Mui. If we join hands, we might be able to kill him. Mui's eyes were filled with greed. Mountain River painting scroll. Both of his hands moved, and a hazy painting scroll appeared in the air. It was a painting of magnificent mountains and rivers. Giant mountain suppression. A black mountain that was over 100 meters tall appeared in the air and crashed down on Lin Xian. At the same time, Fang Qiming also activated the Starstone, attacking fiercely. Wind Slayer. Moon shattering. 2 sword qi rushed out. The sword light shrouded the valley. Asterisk boom, asterisk the black mountain shook and flew out. On the other side, the moon-shattering sword qi and the star fist wind collided, forming a terrifying storm. Dragon Rebel Step. Lin Xian's body glowed with light, pushing his speed to the extreme. Dragon Rebel 7 steps. Lin Xian quickly rushed towards Mui, like a thunderclap, as if there was a dragon claw pressing down. The 7 steps all landed on the Mountain River painting scroll. The huge force made Mui's body tremble. He was already injured, so he couldn't resist, and with Lin Xian's speed, Fang Qiming couldn't save him in time. Outer Sky Flying Star. Kicking the Mountain River painting scroll away, Lin Xian used his most powerful sword technique. Small success, sword intent condensed at the tip of the sword. Lin Xian's body flashed and appeared on the other side. Mui's pupils dilated. He felt his life force quickly disappearing. You, the Mu clan will not let you go. Asterisk boom, asterisk Mui unwillingly fell down, a bloody hole appearing in his chest. Lin Xian opened his palm and took the Mountain River painting scroll into his hand, and then quickly put it away. All of this happened in an instant. By the time Fang Qiming reacted, Mui had already died. Impossible. This was his first thought. Although Mui was injured, it wasn't so easy to kill him. You're dead. The Mu clan will not let you go. Fang Qiming thought of the horror of Mu Qin, as if he could see Lin Xian's future. You should worry about yourself first. Lin Xian sneered, sort of soul. The inscription in his left eye flashed, and an invisible sword qi pierced towards Fang Qiming's soul. Lin Xian did not hesitate to use the Sword of Soul, because he wanted to end this battle quickly. Ah! Fang Qiming screamed. The star stone on his body dimmed. Chi chi! Puff! The sword light flashed, and a head flew out. Elder senior brother is dead. Everyone run. The disciples in the distance saw the scene and were scared to death. Wong wong wong. Qing Nu smiled cruelly, and her 3,000 strands of hair turned into sharp arrows, piercing in all directions. Puff, puff, puff. The bodies of the disciples were pierced, and their flesh and blood quickly disappeared. The aura of the green-haired man became even stronger. Not good. Lin Xian's face darkened. He looked at the green-haired man who had such a method. Humph. Lin Xian snorted, and his hands formed a seal, making the slave mark in Qing Nu's body clearer. Master, don't worry. I won't betray you. The bloody light in Qing Nu's eyes disappeared, and she begged for mercy in a low voice. At this moment, the little white monkey turned into a white light and rushed back. Behind it, a beautiful woman turned into a shadow and fled into the distance. Stay! Lin Xian sneered and quickly chased after her with Qing Nu whoosh whoosh whoosh. Lin Xian used the dragon rebel step, and his speed reached the extreme. But the Mu clan disciple, Mu Rong, burned her blood essence and desperately fled for her life. With a sigh, Lin Xian locked his eyes on the figure, and the soul sword flew out. Ah! With a scream, the figure paused, and her expression was one of agony. Lin Xian, the Mu clan won't let you go. Mu Rong cut off an arm, used the blood-dissolving mystic technique, and her body quickly disappeared. This is the power of bloodline. Lin Xian was slightly stunned. He sensed for a while, and indeed he couldn't find Mu Rong's aura. I didn't expect the Mu clan to have the power of bloodline. Looks like I have to be careful. Lin Xian was vigilant, although one of them escaped. The result of this battle was shocking. Among the martial artists who chased after him, only Mu Rong escaped with serious injuries. The others were all killed by his sword. Looking at the storage rings in his hand, the corners of Lin Xian's mouth curled up as he ran into the distance. Chapter 267. The disciple of the Mu clan, Mu Rong, escaped from the valley and returned to the Stupa sect. Half a day later, the news of Lin Xian killing Star Peak Pavilion and Mui spread, shocking everyone on Levitating Island. The Mu clan was the most infuriated. The strongest expert of Star Peak Pavilion had been killed, and the rest had no hope of defeating Lin Xian. However, the experts of the Mu clan were still there, and Mu Qin had entered the Stupa sect. On this day, the news came from the Stupa sect. The Mu clan was going all out to hunt down Lin Xian, and they were calling for other forces to join them. In a short time, a group of people had gathered. However, these people did not act recklessly. They knew that Lin Xian was very strong and could even kill a half-step harmonious spirit expert. They would not be able to do anything if they acted recklessly. If Lin Xian wants the rest of the treasures, he will definitely return to the Stupa sect. We only need to set up an inescapable net here and wait for him to exhaust himself. These people began to set up a formation near the Stupa sect. 10,000 li away, Lin Xian sat cross-legged on a huge rock and began to organize the storage rings in his hand. Mang Yan and the rest were the elite disciples of big sects, and they were very rich. The most important things were their life-saving treasures. Mang Yan's high-grade, profound-rank treasure was even better than the Autumn Scar sword. Unfortunately, Lin Xian did not use a spear, but it could be sold for a good price. There was also a piece of broken dark red armor. It was extremely hard and could even block the undying sword intent, so it must be extraordinary. He wore the broken armor close to his body to protect his vitals. Other than that, there was also Fong Chiming's star stone and Mui's painting of mountains and rivers. Lin Xian had refined all of these things and engraved his soul imprint on them. Until now, Lin Xian's wealth had increased, and he now had the capital to fight against the top experts. The disciple of the Mu clan had escaped. It seems like the news of me killing these people has spread. These people did not come after me, so they must be preparing in secret. Lin Xian kept thinking, if I want to take back the treasures that belong to me, I will definitely go to the Stupa sect, and these people might be waiting for me there. He knew very well that as long as he showed himself, what awaited him would be a fierce battle. Looks like I still need to increase my strength. Lin Xian thought of the sword intent treasure box. He took out the red flame greatsword and activated the third rune on it, forming a sealing array. Holding the sword intent treasure box, Lin Xian took a deep breath and slowly opened it. A heart-shaking aura gushed out. Lin Xian closed his eyes and carefully sensed it. Danger and opportunity coexisted. Lin Xian risked his life to comprehend the sword intent. Finally, he gained something again and improved his sword intent to 40%. It's time to move. With a flash, Lin Xian left the place. The stupa gate, which was almost 1,000 meters tall, exuded an aura of vicissitudes. Damn it! Why isn't that brat here yet? Why are you in such a hurry? Wait a little longer. No, I'll wait one more day. If he doesn't show up, I'll join the pagoda sect. Some martial artists were obviously getting impatient. However, just as they were getting impatient, a figure quickly approached from afar. A white monkey. Is that Lin brat here? He's wearing a black robe. I can't see him clearly, but that's definitely the monkey. Someone whispered. Everyone be careful. Get ready to attack. Wooji wooji. The snow-white monkey sat on the black-robed man, its black, gem-like eyes constantly moving. The person in the black robe wasn't Lin Xian, but Qing Niu. From afar, Lord Alcohol could feel that the array set up by those people wasn't ordinary. That's a formation called the inescapable net. It's very powerful. If a spirit sea realm martial artist uses it, it can easily kill a harmonious spirit expert. Lin Xian's face was gloomy. If it wasn't for Lord Alcohol, he might really break the array. If that happened, what awaited him would be death. For safety reasons, Lin Xian asked Qing Nu to disguise as him and let the snow-white monkey follow him. He's coming. Everyone be alert. The people hiding in the dark were excited. As long as Lin Xian entered, they would make sure that he wouldn't be able to return alive. Swoosh! The snow-white little monkey disappeared in a flash, and Qing Nu entered the array completely. Activate! Boom! Dozens of figures flashed and activated the array. Qing Nu let out a terrifying cry. The snow-white monkey returned to Lin Xian's side and quickly entered the storage ring. Lin Xian sneered. He put on a purple robe and quickly ran toward the stupa sect. The battle ahead was intense, so no one paid attention to the others. Just like that, Lin Xian swaggered into the stupa gate in front of everyone. The dark red land exuded a desolate aura as if it had been like this for 10,000 years. Swoosh! Swoosh! Suddenly, ripples appeared in the sky above the land. The space constantly distorted, forming a small whirlpool. Swoosh! A figure landed, kicking up a cloud of dust. So empty, so desolate. This figure was none other than Lin Xian. He looked around and sighed. He didn't expect there to be another world behind the stupa sect. This method was indeed shocking. Swoosh! Swoosh! A few more figures entered and landed on the ground in a sorry state. Lin Xian tightened his purple robe and hid his entire body. He didn't want to expose himself yet. Indeed, those people only looked at Lin Xian in surprise before leaving in a hurry. Xiao, Xuanzi, see if you can sense anything with the stone token? Lord Alcohol asked. Lin Xian nodded. He held the stone token and carefully sensed it. Indeed, he sensed a summoning aura. Over here! With a tap of his foot, he flew out. It had to be said that this land was too desolate. Apart from some weeds, there was almost nothing alive. Ka! Ka! The pile of white bones on the ground suddenly trembled violently, forming white skeletons one after another. Swoosh! Swoosh! White bone claws suddenly descended, tearing apart the void. Lin Xian quickly dodged, a look of horror on his face. These should be cultivators who died in the past. They are at least at the 7th layer of the spirit sea realm. Coupled with the environment here, these undead creatures are even more terrifying. Lord Alcohol explained. Lin Xian understood and punched out. Boom! The violent force instantly scattered the 3 white skeletons. However, their bones didn't shatter. They just fell apart. Lin Xian was also surprised by this situation. He didn't expect these white bones to be so hard. However, now wasn't the time to study these things. Lin Xian used the Dragon Rebel Step and quickly flashed past. Swoosh! A huge bone claw that was more than 10 meters long shot out from the ground and grabbed at Lin Xian. The air trembled as if it was being torn apart, emitting a sharp sound like the screams of ghosts. The momentum was terrifying. Scram! Lin Xian used his fingers like a sword and slashed behind him. A cold light flashed. The huge sword chi was like a silver river that hung upside down in the 9 heavens, emitting a terrifying aura. Boom! The huge white bone claw was fearless as it slapped down at the sharp sword intent. Clang! Clang! A string of sparks appeared in the air as the white bone claw trembled. A low roar came from the ground. Chapter 268. Rumble. The ground trembled and split apart. A skeleton creature that was dozens of meters tall crawled out from the ground and roared at the sky, its sound waves shaking the heavens. Ripples of air swept out in all directions, blowing away all the weeds and gravel on the ground. Uft! Uft! The surrounding ground cracked open as dozens of humanoid skeletons appeared. Their movements were extremely stiff. Ka-ka-ka! The moment these skeletons appeared, the entire space creaked as the sound waves swept over with a terrifying aura. Countless ravines appeared on the ground as though it had been cut by a sharp weapon. It was hideous and terrifying. Hum! The sound waves were like a tidal wave as the air trembled as they charged towards Lin Xian. Copper lightning pattern. Berserk lion roar. Lin Xian's body suffused complicated lightning patterns as he roared out the berserk lion roar to resist the skeleton's sound waves. The formless sound waves were as sharp as swords and sabers, overturning the surrounding ground. When the two collided, a loud boom erupted in the air. The overflowing sound waves struck Lin Xian's body like swords and sabers, producing countless sparks. Thankfully, the copper lightning body was extremely tough and resisted the sound waves. However, the skeletons on the other side weren't so lucky. The overflowing sound waves sliced them into countless pieces as their bones splattered all over the ground. Roar! The gigantic skeleton creature wielded a gigantic bone saber as it roared angrily. Boom! With a slash, the air in front of him was sucked dry as the intense saber aura surged towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian transformed into a sword beam as he ran into the distance. The further he ran, the darker the aura became. Lin Xian felt uncomfortable all over as he cautiously looked around and raised his guard. There were stone monuments erected around him with ancient words written on them. Could this be a cemetery? Lin Xian pursed his lips. You guessed right. Be careful. There's a big guy below. Don't wake it up, Lord Alcohol said in a deep voice. Big guy. Lin Xian was taken aback as he secretly circulated his spirit energy. Roar! The gigantic bone saber slashed over from behind as though it wanted to split everything apart. F***K. Will this commotion wake it up? Lin Xian was unsure. He swept his sword and blocked the descending bone saber. Boom! The two enormous forces collided like two small mountains crashing together. The bone blade bounced off. The skeletal creature seemed to have sensed the difference in this place and kept growling in a low voice. A dark and terrifying aura came from underground, causing people's hearts to tremble. Those stone steels glowed with a faint red light, and zombie-like figures came out from them. The flesh of these people had rotted away, but they hadn't completely disappeared. Their bodies glowed red as they quickly rushed towards Lin Xian. Wang! The skeletal creature's body shook, and a red glimmer appeared in its eye sockets, flickering like a candle. Oh no, he's being controlled. Let's rush out. Lord Alcohol reminded. Lin Xian identified a direction, and his body flashed out like a rainbow. Hoo hoo hoo! The rotting corpses were clearly much stronger than the skeletons from before. Their bodies slammed straight into Lin Xian. Before the person arrived, Lin Xian smelled a rotten stench and immediately felt dizzy. Sword intent surged and quickly destroyed the gas. Lin Xian's body glowed as he dodged to the side. What a terrifying aura! It can actually interfere with my mind. These should be the sect disciples from back in the day. Be careful! Lord Alcohol's voice had a tinge of solemnity. People from back in the day? Lin Xian was stunned. Didn't they die more than 10,000 years ago? Lin Xian cautiously looked at the rotting zombies and subconsciously wiped his cold sweat. Fighting people from 10,000 years ago was 2F*** king exciting. Don't fight them head-on. There's a stone steel behind you. Go there, Lord Alcohol quickly said. Lin Xian tapped his foot and darted backward. Phew! He came in front of a stone steel and focused his attention on it. Indeed, the rotting zombies lingered in front of him, not daring to advance. Lin Xian heaved a sigh of relief and looked at the stone steel beside him. The stone steel suffused a blue glow and was very eye-catching amid the red glow. Before Lin Xian could finish heaving a sigh of relief, an old figure appeared beside the blue stone steel. It was an old man who couldn't be any older. His skin was dry and covered in wrinkles. However, his eyes were abnormally deep, as though he could see through the void. Lin Xian's hair stood on end as he felt his heart palpitate. It was as though a single look from the elder could destroy him. It's actually the remnant consciousness of a supremacy. Lord Alcohol's tone was abnormally solemn. Don't act rashly. This isn't something you can deal with. Lin Xian fell silent as he quietly looked at the illusory figure, motionless like a statue. Can we discuss the Tao? A deep voice sounded. Why not? Please. Lord Alcohol spoke through Lin Xian. The two mystical figures began a Tao discussion through Lin Xian. After a long while, the illusory figure let out a sigh. Having heard the Tao in the morning, one can die in the evening without regrets. The elder's figure gradually faded before disappearing from the world. The blue stone steel beside him transformed into a blue beam of light that enveloped Lin Xian as they left the graveyard. Supremacy? What realm is that? Lin Xian asked curiously when he arrived at a safe place. Above the 3 spirit realms is the supremacy realm, Lord Alcohol said slowly. Lin Xian shook his head. These were too distant for him. Let's go. His body flashed as he ran into the distance. Buzz! Buzz! The void ahead trembled as a terrifying aura surged over. Its saber intent. Could it be Lung Yi Dao? Lin Xian's eyes flickered as he planned on taking a look. Back when he was besieged, Lung Yi Dao, Snow Fairy, and company had saved him, making him feel grateful. Lin Xian used the dragon counterstep and transformed into a beam of light. Damn it, Black Wind Sect. Die obediently. I said that I wouldn't let you leave alive. Haha. Kid, stop. Otherwise, this little beauty's life will be in danger. A group of mocking voices echoed in front of him. Damn it. Put down Senior Sister Snow. I'll fight you to the death. An angry voice sounded. Who do you think you are? Are you worthy of fighting us? I'll give you a chance. Break your arms and kneel down to beg us. Otherwise, we'll enjoy this little beauty on the spot. Kill them with one strike. Don't worry about me. Rip. The sound of cloth being torn sounded, followed by a series of exclamations. Lin Xian appeared. He saw the ferocious-looking Lung Yidao and Snow Fairy, whose skirt had been torn. Brother Lung, don't panic. Lin Xian appeared beside Lung Yidao. Kid, it's actually you. You didn't die? The warriors in front exclaimed. There were dozens of figures there. 2 of them were holding chains made of spiritual power, binding the Frost Fairy. Her skirt was torn apart, revealing her seductive long legs. Kid, hand over the Buddha token and break your arms. Otherwise, we'll put on a good show. The Black Wind sect's disciples looked at the bound Snow Fairy wretchedly with greed in their eyes. I'll give you a chance. Let her go. Lin Xian's voice was as cold as 10,000-year-old ice. Chapter 269. Brat, it seems like you still don't know the situation here. Fine, I'll open your eyes. After saying that cultivator laughed wildly and approached Icy Fairy. How dare you? Yidao Lung's eyes turned red. His body emitted a sharp saber intent, pressing forward like a heavenly saber. Humph! In the opposite group, a young man wearing a half-mask sneered. A cold black whirlwind gushed out from his body, resisting the saber intent in the sky. The black wind whistled like a sharp saber, colliding with the saber intent, causing the void to tremble. Don't think that you can be so arrogant just because you comprehended the saber intent. You're nothing in front of us. The disciples of Black Wind sect laughed wildly. They did have the right to be arrogant. As the top existences in a 3-star sect, their strength was much stronger than Star Peak Pavilion. Among them, the masked young man had the strength of a half-step harmonious spirit expert. Other than that, the chi of the others was unusually strong, far stronger than the disciples of other sections. In front of our Black Wind sect, even if you're a dragon, you'll have to crouch. Moreover, you're just 2 worms. I don't want to kill anyone. Don't provoke me. Lin Xian's voice was as cold as a blade. Kill? Haha. Don't think that you can be so arrogant in front of us just because you killed a few trash disciples. You're not qualified. These disciples of Black Wind sect had been chasing after Yidao Lung and Icy Fairy. They didn't know that Lin Xian had killed 4 experts in a row. You're courting death. Don't blame me. Lin Xian sighed. Blame your grandpa. What are you pretending for? Before the disciples of Black Wind sect could finish their words, they felt a shocking sword intent attacking their souls. This chi, how is this possible? In a daze, they felt like they were facing Ling Funzi. Quickly, use that woman to threaten him. A disciple shouted. 2 cultivators tried to grab Icy Fairy. One of them even placed a long saber on her neck. However, before they could do anything, a white light flashed past. Asterisk puff, asterisk 2 heads flew up. Blood spurted out like a fountain. The cultivators beside Icy Fairy fell down powerlessly. What? The nearby Black Wind sect disciples were all dumbfounded. They didn't even see the white light clearly. Only the masked young man snorted coldly and reached out to grab at the void. Whoosh! The sword light flashed and forced the masked youth to retreat. Lin Xian's body glowed like a god of death. He appeared in front of the masked youth and punched out with his left fist. The fist wind contained a terrifying amount of energy. The air exploded, and lightning surged toward the masked young man. On the side, Yidao Lung let out a long roar and slashed out several times. The saber radiance swept out and sent all the warriors who were rushing towards Ice Fairy flying. Crack! Breaking the chains on Ice Fairy's body, Lung Yidao quickly retreated with Ice Fairy. 3 lowly insects, you've offended the Black Wind sect. Only death awaits you. The masked young man roared madly. Leave this person to me. You guys take care of the others. Lin Xian said in a low voice. Black Wind strangle, said the young man with the mask while smiling evilly. A black wind emerged from his hand and collided with Lin Feng's lightning fist. Boom! The two collided, and a dazzling light burst out in the air. The masked youth trembled and took a few steps back. Crack! A foot-deep footprint appeared on the ground, and countless cracks spread around it. What a terrifying strength! The masked youth's expression changed slightly. He couldn't suppress Lin Xian. The rest of the warriors' eyes popped out when they saw this scene. That was a half-step martial artist, but he was forced back by Lin Xian with one punch. Go away and die. The masked youth was furious. A black wind blew from his body, and the sound of metal vibrating could be heard in the air. Moon break! A sword light, like a hazy half-moon, flew out from the tip of the sword and slashed at the masked youth like lightning. Black wind kick! The masked youth moved and jumped into the air. His legs danced, and a strong wind blew around him. A mountain-like leg shadow accompanied by a black wind rushed toward Lin Xian. The moon break sword chi flashed and cut the black wind in half. Impossible! The masked youth was frightened again. Lin Xian could easily break through his defense, and he felt that things were out of his control. Wind Slayer! While he was still in shock, another sword light flashed past his face like a fleeting shadow. Why did I see my back? The masked youth was stunned at first, and then he felt incomparable pain. Poof! A head flew far away and landed on the ground. Lin Xian's sword was too fast. It was so fast that the masked youth didn't feel any pain when his head flew up. Clang! Clang! Seeing the masked youth die, the other Onyx Wind sect warriors were stunned. Their eyes were filled with disbelief. Devil! Lunatic! After a few screams, the remaining warriors fled in all directions. Tempest sword ripple. The long sword slashed out, and fine sword waves spread out in all directions like water ripples. Poof! Poof! One by one, the figures were slashed into a bloody mist, and no one escaped. Lung Yidao and Ice Fairy were stunned. Lin Xian's current performance was completely different from a few days ago. A few days ago, Lin Xian could barely resist a half-step harmonious spirit expert, but now he could kill them as if he was slaughtering chickens and dogs. Are you guys all right? Lin Xian put away his long sword and asked. Ice Fairy was very grateful. Thank you, Lin Gongzi, for saving us. Brother Lin, you have to be careful of the revenge of Onyx Wind sect. Lung Yidao reminded. It's fine. Even if I don't kill them, Onyx Wind sect will still cause me trouble. Lin Xian didn't care too much. With the improvement of his sword intent, he was no longer the young man who could be bullied by others. Now, even if he was surrounded, he could still retreat calmly. The three of them set out together, heading deeper into the forest. Half a day later, a magnificent building complex appeared in front of them. Each building was like an ancient ferocious beast, emitting a cold metallic aura and a chilling aura. Rows of palaces, plazas, and pavilions were arranged in picturesque disorder, just like a giant city. Worthy of being an ancient sect, they actually used metal to build their buildings. Lin Xian exclaimed. Their current palaces were all built with stone, which was very different from this place. Walking on the path paved with black gold, the three of them curiously observed their surroundings. I wonder if the people of Onyx Wind sect and Mu clan are here? Lin Xian was puzzled. He knew that the two of them had the Buddha token. Forget it, Let's find my own treasure first. Lin Xian sensed the Buddha token, and he unexpectedly felt the aura of the concept of wind. Could it be related to Wind Emperor's sword? Lin Xian was puzzled as he looked into the distance. There was a tall bronze tower, emitting a faint golden light. It was about 100 meters tall. Lin Xian felt that the qi of wind in his body became restless, as if it was very excited. What's wrong? Lung Yidao and Ice Fairy looked at Lin Xian. I found something that seems to be related to me, Lin Xian said in a deep voice and went over to take a look. The three figures flickered and dashed toward the brass tower. Chapter 270. The brass tower was so eye-catching that it naturally attracted not only Lin Xian and the other two, but also many disciples from other factions. Lin Xian's appearance undoubtedly caused an uproar. Many martial artists were like birds that were startled by the twang of a bow as they hurriedly avoided him. The others also looked at him in awe. The news of Lin Xian killing the 4 experts had spread among all the factions. Most of the martial artists had labeled him as the number 1 ruthless person. Unless it was absolutely necessary, he was not to be trifled with. Lung Yidao and Snow Fairy were shocked, once again. They followed beside Lin Xian and sighed as they watched the crowd disperse to both sides. In front of them, the thick brass door opened and revealed a gap. On the stone door, there were various carvings that seemed to be describing something. However, those carvings had become very dim. Time is the most merciless. It can obliterate all powerful things. Lin Xian sighed and walked in. The 3 of them paused for a moment before walking through the brass door. After a long time, the others quickly followed. It was dim inside, but it wasn't a problem for Lin Xian and the other 2. Lin Xian's brows gradually furrowed as he quickly walked up the spiral staircase. This aura, could someone have been here? He couldn't help but increase his speed. After about a dozen flights of stairs, Lin Xian and the other 2 finally arrived at a large hall. A majestic statue stood in front of them. It was like a peerless expert that looked disdainfully in all directions. This stone statue is very similar to the stone statue in the Trial of Blood and Fire. Lin Xian was surprised and excited. It was the stone statue in the Trial of Blood and Fire that imparted the Wind Emperor's sword to him. Lung Yidao and Snow Fairy also looked at the stone statue in surprise. They felt a pressure that came from their souls. It's just a stone statue, but I can't breathe. What is this place? Lung Yidao's forehead was covered in cold sweat. Lin Xian's eyes flickered. He carefully searched the surroundings and even used the Buddha token to try to communicate. However, nothing unusual happened. There are footprints on the ground. Someone has been here. Lin Xian's pupils contracted as he found some clues. Let's go up and take a look. Brother Lin, I want to comprehend it here, said Lung Yidao. All right. Lin Xian didn't insist. He quickly went up alone. Finally, when he reached the 10th floor, he discovered the auras of other people. Above was a spacious hall that was at least 100 meters wide. There were many martial artists standing inside, their auras surging like the tide. It's actually the Black Wind sect. Lin Xian's eyes revealed a look of vigilance when he saw the attire of those people. However, he did not discover Ling Fengzi's figure. Presumably, he should have gone somewhere else. Lin Xian hadn't seen the other party before, but judging from their aura and attitude, they weren't afraid of the Black Wind sect. The 2 sides were facing each other, surrounding a stone statue. In the hall, the atmosphere was abnormally heavy, so heavy that it was hard to breathe. Looks like there must be something good. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. I really want to know what their expressions would be if their things were stolen. Lord Alcohol chuckled. Looks like you already have an idea. I'm looking forward to your performance. The corner of Lin Xian's mouth curled up. His body was like a leopard as he quietly flew out. Throughout the entire process, there wasn't a trace of movement. His aura was also completely concealed. Lin Xian's eyes flickered as he looked ahead. There were many stone statues there. One of them was the size of an ordinary person and had a cloak draped over its body. They should be fighting for that cloak, Lord Alcohol said slowly. Cloak? Lin Xian's eyes narrowed as he looked at the surrounding stone statues. The black cloak was as thick as ink. There were dark red patterns on it, flowing with a peculiar aura. This should be a support-type artifact. It's at least a peak profound rank artifact, Lord Alcohol transmitted. Peak profound rank artifact. Lin Xian's heart trembled violently. Perhaps even a true, harmonious spirit expert would be tempted. No wonder the atmosphere was so tense. I can't let the Black Wind sect get this artifact. Lin Xian thought. He had a grudge with the Black Wind sect. In the future, there would be a fierce battle, and this artifact would play a decisive role. With this artifact, even if he met Ling Fingzi, he would have a higher chance of winning. Speaking of which, this artifact should be a wind attribute artifact. It should be helpful for you to comprehend the Wind Emperor's sword. Lord Alcohol said slowly. Lin Xian's eyes lit up. Then he couldn't give it to the Black Wind sect. Moreover, he noticed that the wind aura in his body was restless, as if it was very excited. After adjusting his state of mind, Lin Xian waited patiently. He planned to make a move at the crucial moment. In the front hall, the people of the Black Wind sect were confronting the people of the other side. Their expressions were very unfriendly. Bai Ling, if you want to start a war with our Black Wind sect, you better think about the consequences. A cultivator with a scar on his face said. His name was Du Fei, a half-step harmonious spirit expert. Since Ling Fingzi wasn't here, he was one of the leaders. What's wrong with the Black Wind sect? Is it that great? The beautiful girl smiled sweetly. Others might be afraid of you, but we aren't. Moreover, the things here are ownerless. Of course, only those with strength are worthy of having them. Those with strength are worthy of having them. Du Fei snorted coldly. We have already broken the seal, and now you want to interfere. Don't you think it's ridiculous? Haven't your Black Wind sect done this kind of thing before? Bai Ling covered her mouth and laughed. I'm just learning from you. Of course, when it comes to shamelessness, I'm far inferior to you. This cloak is a wind attribute artifact. It's compatible with our Black Wind sect's cultivation technique. Miss Bai, why don't you be more magnanimous and help others? Another cultivator called Ning Shan said. Bullshit. Only your Black Wind sect has the wind attribute? This old lady has also recently cultivated a wind attribute martial art. Why don't you let me have it? Bai Ling raised her eyebrows. Why are you wasting your breath on her? Just take her down. Du Fei's face was gloomy, revealing his killing intent. Stop them. I'll go get the treasure. With Du Fei's order, the dozens of cultivators behind him pulled out their swords and sabers. The aura on their bodies surged like a tsunami, slashing towards the people of Yu Hua sect. You're courting death, Bai Ling shouted. Her body turned into a white light and rushed towards Du Fei. The cultivators behind her welcomed the Black Wind sect's disciples. Rumble. The spiritual energy in the air surged, and an explosion occurred instantly. Fortunately, the brass hall was very sturdy and there was no damage. Dozens of people were fighting together, and the battle was abnormally intense. However, Lin Xian did not pay too much attention to it. His gaze was on Du Fei and Bai Ling. Ling Fingzi isn't here, and you guys dare to be so presumptuous? Bai Ling shouted. The white satin on her body flew out and turned into a terrifying silver waterfall. Like the Milky Way hanging upside down, the air vibrated and turned into ripples, spreading in all directions. Jade flower, thousand ripples, hands. Bai Ling stepped on the waterfall and waved her jade-like hands in the air like a butterfly. Terrifying spiritual energy surged. Many jade-like arms appeared in the air and grabbed towards Du Fei. Chapter 271. To be able to reach the 4th level of the Thousand Waves hands, it seems that your talent is not bad. Du Fei laughed evilly. But this is not enough to scare me. Black wind, divine kick. A black wind appeared around Du Fei's leg, emitting a terrifying aura. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. With a kick, the black wind turned into a boundless leg shadow. With a black tail of light, it pierced towards Bai Ling like a divine spear. Rumble. Thousands of palms waved in the air and collided with the huge black leg shadow. The collision caused a terrifying spiritual energy fluctuation. Crack! The huge leg shadow pressed down like a mountain, but tiny cracks appeared on it like a spider web. So strong, these two people are probably stronger than Meng Yan. Lin Xian's eyes flashed, and he was shocked. Meng Yan could be said to be the representative of the younger generation in Xia country, one of the top martial artists. But in this place, such terrifying martial artists could be seen everywhere. Some were even stronger than Meng Yan. Sure enough, only by going out could one meet stronger martial artists. The two of them were evenly matched, and it would be difficult to determine the winner in a short period of time. Lin Xian touched his chin and was ready to make a move at any time. There's someone on the roof. Lin Xian used his soul power and found something strange. In the dark, there was a shadow-like shadow that was quickly approaching the statue. This aura, it should be someone from the Black Wind sect. Lin Xian's heart sank. They were indeed a group of insidious people. However, this statue seemed to have the last seal, and he could help break it. Lin Xian sneered and flew out like a ghost. His eyes flashed, and he used an illusion. This illusion was used on his body, preventing martial artists from discovering him. With a light tap of his feet, Lin Xian took several steps in the air. His body flew out like a rainbow and landed lightly beside the stone statue. His soul power completely hid his aura. Unless it was a 3rd-grade inscription master, no one would be able to discover him. Lin Xian carefully avoided all the spiritual energy attacks and wandered around the statue. That black shadow continued to swim, completely oblivious to Lin Xian, who was beside it. He quietly took out a few small black flags and inserted them around the stone statue. Then he placed dozens of mid-grade spirit stones. A wind magic art was sent in, and the entire space trembled slightly before returning to normal. Under normal circumstances, such a small fluctuation would not have escaped the senses of Bai Ling and the others. However, the situation was chaotic now, and the spiritual energy fluctuations were unstable, so no one would notice it. Du Fei looked at the stone statue meaningfully, then led Bai Ling away from this place. Obviously, he was aware of the situation. The moment the array was formed, Lin Xian's body tensed up. His right hand was already on the hilt of his sword. He believed that the array formation was meant to deal with him, but thankfully Lord Alcohol was knowledgeable and stopped him in time. This was an illusory formation, and its power was equivalent to the illusory technique cast by a 3rd-grade inscription master. Outsiders couldn't see the true situation inside the illusion array. Lin Xian's heart skipped a beat as he looked around in surprise. In fact, the reason why he could hide without others noticing was because he had used the principle of the illusion array. However, Lin Xian didn't have the strength to cast it over such a large area. Currently, he could only cast it on himself. With the illusion array set up by the black shadow, the people outside couldn't see their actions. In other words, the black shadow could break the seal without worry. When Bai Ling saw Du Fei pulling her away from the stone statue, she was puzzled. She looked over and didn't see any abnormalities with the stone statue. Even the black cloak behind him was fluttering slightly. Bailing relaxed and began to fight Du Fei with all her might. However, there was already a terrifying energy fluctuation near the stone statue. The black shadow turned into a short and small martial artist who was trying to break the seal with a greedy look on his face. Strange items appeared one after another, dazzling Lin Xian. He could feel that the stone statue's seal was weakening bit by bit. The corners of Lin Xian's mouth curled up slightly as he waited quietly by the side. As long as the seal was broken, he could take action. The short warrior tried his best to break the seal and stopped to think for a while. It seemed that the stone statue's seal was very difficult. However, the smile on his face grew wider and wider. This meant that the seal was broken successfully. After half an incense stick's time, there was a slight sound like a mirror breaking, and then it disappeared immediately. Lin Xian felt that the power of the seal had completely disappeared. The short warrior laughed wildly and kept laughing. His small eyes were full of light as if he had seen a beauty bathing. Just as he was about to grab the black cloak, a sharp sword light pierced towards the back of his head. At the same time, a strong hand grabbed the black cloak. Whoosh! The short warrior's body darkened and turned into a black shadow. He narrowly dodged the sword. However, when he looked up, the black cloak had disappeared. Who the hell dared to steal my things? The short martial artist angrily roared. His eyes were suffused with a red light, as if they could devour a person. Hee, good technique. Thank you for this. A faint laughter came from behind. Whoosh! The short warrior suddenly turned around. There was a black light that was as thin as a cow's hair, piercing out as fast as lightning. If it was an ordinary warrior, they would not be able to dodge it. Even a half-step harmonious spirit warrior might be hit because the attack was too sudden. Moreover, the hidden weapon was small and fast. However, Lin Xian's soul force was outstanding. He had already sensed the short warrior's abnormal movement. That was why he had already moved the moment the hidden weapon flew out. Ding! 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 Sword light flashed and formed a translucent sword screen in front of him, turning the small hidden weapon into powder. It's you, Lin Xian! The short warrior obviously knew Lin Xian. You've ruined Black Wind Sec's business several times. Are you tired of living? The short warrior flew into a rage. When you were chasing me, did you ever think that today would happen? Lin Xian was in a good mood. I just want to ask, how does it feel to have your things stolen? I'm so angry. I'm going to kill you. The short warrior's body darkened as if he had turned into gas and quickly blended into the air. Swoosh! Sword light flashed, forming a terrifying sword wave that surrounded Lin Xian. The short warrior seemed to have hit a metal wall, producing a clanging sound. The black figure also reappeared. Don't waste your energy. Wind Emperor's sword. Lin Xian shouted in a low voice. His long sword moved and was about to pierce out. The short warrior did not dare to be careless and quickly turned into gas. However, the sword light that he expected did not appear. Lin Xian's body had already retreated far away. Damn it! How dare you lie to me? The short warrior looked up to the sky and roared. He withdrew the illusion formation, and the terrifying roar spread in all directions. Ah, Lin Xian, I'm going to kill you. The surrounding warriors who were still fighting were stunned and turned their heads around. When they saw that the black cloak behind the stone statue had disappeared, their faces became extremely ugly. Especially Du Fei. His face was as black as the bottom of a pot, ferocious and terrifying. Chapter 272. The cloak is gone. Both sides were stunned. Bai Ling's expression changed when she saw the short cultivator near the stone statue. Du Fei, how dare you steal the cloak behind our backs? Hand over the cloak! The disciple behind Bai Ling shouted. However, before Du Feng could speak, the short cultivator from afar shouted crazily, "It's Lin Xian! Stop him!" Lin Xian! Everyone was slightly shocked. They had naturally heard of Lin Xian's deeds. He was a ferocious person. However, Du Fei couldn't care less at this moment. His eyes were fixed on Lin Xian as if they could spit fire. From afar, Bai Ling and the other disciples of Yuhua sect were also looking at Lin Xian cautiously. "Brat, we didn't look for you, but you came to us yourself. Hand over the cloak and the Buddha token," Du Fei said coldly. "You want the Buddha token?" Lin Xian smiled faintly. "Are you worthy? As for the cloak..." He touched the cloak with dark red patterns and said slowly, "I'm already wearing it. How can I take it off?" Arrogant. Du Fei's face turned green. His voice was like the cold winter wind blowing into people's bones. "You're the first one who dares to steal from Black Wind sect. I'll let you know that there are some people you can't afford to offend." A black whirlwind emerged from Du Fei's body. It gradually grew bigger and eventually formed a tornado that was more than 10 meters tall. It danced wildly in the hall. The surrounding cultivators retreated and looked forward with fear. This level of battle wasn't something they could interfere with. "I didn't expect him to be Lin Xian. Senior Sister Bai, what should we do?" A disciple of Yuhua sect asked softly. It said that Lin Xian killed a few half-step harmonious spirit experts. Although those people were severely injured, his strength shouldn't be underestimated. Bai Ling said slowly, "We'll wait and see, but we can't let Black Wind sect get the cloak." After receiving Bai Ling's warning, the disciples of Yuhua sect began to gather together and watch the battle silently. On the other side, Du Fei was in the midst of the black gale, his face showing a hint of wildness. "Brat, don't think that killing a few half-step harmonious spirit experts is a big deal. Today, I will let you know the true strength of a half-step harmonious spirit expert." With a wave of his hand, 10-meter-tall black hurricanes rushed towards Lin Xian. Wherever they passed, the ground would emit the sound of metal clashing. Fortunately, it was a very hard brass floor. Under such a violent storm, there were only scratches. If it was an ordinary floor, there would have been terrible cracks. Lin Xian lightly tapped his feet and floated backwards. However, at this moment, a black shadow quickly rushed towards Lin Xian, and a fine black light appeared in the air. Copper thunder pattern. With a low roar, Lin Xian's body was surrounded by lightning, interweaving into a solid defense. He was like a thunder god. Clang, 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 clang. The black light might be small, but it was very powerful. It hit Lin Xian's body and formed a terrible impact. Fortunately, the copper thunder pattern's defense was unparalleled. Lin Xian successfully blocked the black light that filled the sky. However, he was in a situation where he was attacked from both sides. Haha, with the help of 2 senior brothers, that brat is dead for sure. How dare he steal our Black Wind sex things? We will torture him to death later. The Black Wind sect's disciples sneered. Facing 2 half-step harmonious spirit experts at the same time, I'm afraid that Lin Xian is in danger, a Yuhua sect's disciple said. Bai Ling's eyes moved, and suddenly she smiled tenderly. "Lin Gongzi, do you need help? We can help you fight off the enemies." "Beauty, I appreciate your kindness, but I alone am enough to deal with them." Lin Xian smiled and refused. "This brat is too arrogant." The Yuhua sect's disciple snorted. Even Bai Ling was stunned. The Black Wind sect's disciples shouted crazily after hearing Lin Xian's words. They couldn't wait to fight 300 rounds with him. "When I peel off your skin, I hope you can still be so stubborn." Du Fei summoned 4 tornadoes and rushed towards Lin Xian. The short cultivator behind him also attacked crazily without saying a word. Asterisk swoosh. Asterisk a blood-red long whip that was as agile as a poisonous snake turned into a red shadow in the air and suddenly lashed down. Asterisk boom. Asterisk sword intent erupted from Lin Xian's body. 40% of the great dragon sword intent formed a terrifying sword intent whirlpool, resisting the black tornadoes in front of him. At the same time, he waved his arm, and a picture scroll of mountains and rivers appeared in midair. It summoned the shadow of a mountain peak and a rainbow-like galaxy. The Mu clan's mountain river scroll. Du Fei cried out. This was the Mu clan's treasure. Who would have thought that it would appear in Lin Xian's hands? Go. Lin Xian waved his hand, and a huge mountain pressed down on Du Fei. The hall trembled and rumbled nonstop. The mountain peak above them was too huge, filling up the entire space. Rumble. The mountain peak collided with the violent tornadoes, forming a terrifying energy wave. The front was flooded by the turbulence. Lin Xian turned around indifferently and continuously waved his sword 18 times. The resplendent sword light was like a rainbow in the sky, illuminating the entire hall. The short cultivator's body turned into a black mist and floated around. Great dragon sword intent cut through the void. The sword intent surged, and Lin Xian's aura underwent a shocking change. It was like a divine sword, giving people an endless sense of oppression. Whoosh! The sword slashed out like a dragon's roar, and the air rumbled with an ear-piercing sound. The sword light was resplendent, like a galaxy slashing down, unstoppable. The black mist rolled, as if it was locked on. Impossible! Finally, the black wind transformed into the short cultivator's figure again. His face was filled with horror. The sword chi was as dazzling as the sun, but the shocking murderous intent made people's hearts tremble. Boundless black wind, rotating heaven and earth. The short cultivator's eyes were filled with determination. He kept changing his hand seals, forming a huge black rotating wheel whistling in the air. Boom! The sword light fell, tearing everything apart. The black rotating wheel collided with it, and the sound of metal clashing could be heard. Ka! The black rotating wheel shattered instantly, and the sword chi in the air became even more intense, making people unable to look at it directly. The short cultivator didn't even have time to scream before he was drowned by the sword light. Clang! The sword chi's aftershock hit the bronze wall, causing the whole pavilion to tremble, as if it would collapse at any time. Everything happened in an instant, so when Du Fei resisted the huge mountain above his head, the short cultivator had already been slashed by the sword chi. Guffaw! Looking at the short cultivator who was split in half, Du Fei screamed crazily. The surrounding cultivators were stunned. They knew that Lin Xian was powerful, but they didn't expect him to be this powerful. That was a half-step harmonious spirit expert, but he was killed by a single slash. Gulp! Gulp! The disciples of Yu Hua's sect swallowed their saliva crazily, and even Beiling's face turned pale. Du Fei was even more unbearable. After he screamed, a deep fear arose in his heart. In the past, he thought that Lin Xian killed Fang Qiming and the others because they were severely injured. But now, it seemed that it wasn't the case at all. Even if they weren't severely injured, Lin Xian could still kill them easily. The short cultivator, Gufeng, was a good example. I'll give you a chance. Tell me where Ling Fengzi is, and I'll consider not killing you. Lin Xian's mouth curved into a smile. Chapter 273. Du Fei's expression changed again and again. As a half-step, harmonious spirit expert, he couldn't bring himself to beg for mercy. However, Lin Xian's strength was far beyond his expectation. If he insisted, he might be killed. Senior brother Ling Fengzi is very strong. Even 10 Lin Xians wouldn't be his match. On the contrary, Lin Xian might be killed by senior brother Ling Fengzi. Du Fei calmed down as he thought of this. It's on Linggu Mountain, Du Fei said in a deep voice. It's 3,000 miles east. You'll see it when you get there. Ling Gongzi, Du Fei is right. Bai Ling said Linggu Mountain is a sacred place within the pagoda sect. It's also the place where the ancient sect's martial arts are passed down. There are a lot of martial arts there. As long as you can get in touch with Linggu Mountain, you'll be able to get the martial arts there. Oh, it's so magical. Lin Xian was surprised. I wonder what's the grade of the martial arts? Now that his family was rich, he didn't care about ordinary low-level spirit ranked martial arts. The martial arts on Linggu Mountain have different grades. The lowest grade martial arts are low-level spirit rank martial arts. As for the higher grade martial arts, it's said that Earth rank martial arts have appeared before. Earth rank martial arts. Lin Xian's pupils shrunk. He was shocked. That was a legendary martial art. He was afraid that there wasn't a single complete Earth rank martial art in Xia country. Sure enough, it's a good place. He was overjoyed. Bai Ling pondered for a while and continued, but the qualification to communicate with Linggu Mountain is limited. It'll be a fierce battle when the time comes. Moreover, there are some special items that can strengthen the connection with Linggu Mountain. For example, the pagoda token. So, Lin Gongzi must be careful. Thank you. Lin Xian smiled. Then, he looked at Du Fei and squinted his eyes. There was a trace of coldness in his eyes. I've already told you about senior brother Ling Fengzi's itinerary. You won't go back on your words, right? Du Fei panicked. He could feel a killing intent. I said, I won't kill you. I won't go back on my words. Lin Xian said in a deep voice, but a person like you will only bring harm to others if you keep your martial arts. It's better for you to be an ordinary person. Whoosh! With a flash of light, Lin Xian quickly rushed towards Du Fei. You dare! Du Fei was so scared that his face turned pale. This was the rhythm of crippling his martial arts. Divine wind art. A ruthless look appeared in Du Fei's eyes. Black wind surrounded his body like a demonic beast. Boom! A shining star stone smashed towards him, instantly tearing apart the black wind around him. The huge impact hit his body, causing him to spit out a few mouthfuls of blood. At this moment, Lin Xian's figure appeared in front of Du Fei. His sword was surged as he slashed out with his finger. Sword light with a sharp aura crushed Du Fei's spiritual sea. Ah! Du Fei screamed as his body fell to the ground. If you dare to cripple me, senior brother Ling Fengzi will not let you off. His blood-curdling screams reverberated throughout the hall. The others were also trembling, not daring to make a sound. This method was too terrifying. One of the two half-step harmonious spirit experts was killed and the other was injured. It really shocked these people. Don't let me see your Black Wind sect doing evil again, or else I will not let you off next time. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He shook his cloak and ran downstairs. After Lin Xian left, the hall returned to normal. This guy will be a strong opponent for senior brother Zhao Jie in the future. Bai Ling was a little worried. The disciples of Black Wind sect lifted Du Fei up in a panic. The fear on their faces had yet to fade. Let's go, we need to go to Linggu Mountain. The group quickly left. When Lin Xian passed through the 13th floor, he went to see Lung Yidao and Ice Fairy. Lung Yidao was sitting cross-legged in front of the stone statue, lost in thought. Ice Fairy was guarding beside him. After telling Ice Fairy about the Linggu Mountain, Lin Xian left behind a few talisman treasures before leaving. He found these talisman treasures for Meng Yan and the others' storage rings. They were useless to him, so he might as well give them away. You want to go to Linggu Mountain? I'm afraid there will be a fierce battle. Lord Alcohol said. Lin Xian knew, but for the Earth rank martial art, he had to take the risk. Earth rank martial art was a martial art that only existed in legends. It was not available in the entire Xia country. Even the top 3-star sects only had a few fragments of it. Therefore, Linggu Mountain was a place that everyone yearned for. If I'm not wrong, to obtain an Earth rank martial art, you need at least a Buddha token. There might also be other conditions. Let's not talk about other things. Just the number of Buddha tokens is very limited. You have to prepare for the worst. Lord Alcohol reminded. Indeed, there were not many Buddha tokens. So far, there were only 3 of them. Earth rank martial art was too tempting. At that time, the martial artist with the Buddha token might be attacked by a group of people. When he thought of a group of genius martial artists fighting for the Buddha token, Lin Xian felt a trace of excitement in his heart. With a flick of the cloak behind him, Lin Xian's body turned into a ray of light and rushed out. The cloak had been appraised by Lord Alcohol. It was an incomplete spirit rank treasure. Its grade was even higher than Lin Xian's estimation. With the black cloak, Lin Xian's speed had increased by at least 3 times. Now his speed was probably unmatched. Ordinary, half-step, harmonious spirit realm martial artists might not even be able to compare to him. Other than that, the cloak had other uses. When Lin Xian was refining it, he discovered that there were secret techniques such as invisibility, cloning, and blood sacrifice to speed up. However, the cloak was only a half-finished product. Currently, he could only use the blood sacrifice to speed up the process. Earth, rank martial art. This might be the key to defeating Lin Feng. Lin Xian's heart burned with passion as he increased his speed once again. Not long after, a majestic mountain appeared in his vision. The mountain had 5 peaks that were connected together like a human palm. On the peak, Lin Xian felt a strange aura. It was like a sleeping lion that contained a power that made one's heart palpitate. This should be the Linggu Mountain. Lin Xian slowed down and floated forward. On the towering Linggu Mountain, there was no vegetation. It was covered with strangely shaped stones. From afar, one would discover that these stones formed strange patterns that were mysterious and unfathomable. Feeling the ancient aura coming from the mountain, Lin Xian's heart trembled. This mountain is not simple. Lord Alcohol said in a deep voice, I seem to feel a familiar aura. It's been too long. I can't remember it, but you have to be careful. Lin Xian nodded and walked towards the Linggu Mountain. At the foot of the mountain, many martial artists had gathered. It was a black mass that formed a terrifying aura. However, compared to the aura coming from the Linggu Mountain, this aura was like a mayfly trying to shake a tree. It was not worth mentioning. The most conspicuous ones in the crowd were the Black Wind sect and the Mu clan. The 2 sides occupied the best positions and were on guard against each other. Among them, Ling Fengzi and Mu Qin were surrounded like stars surrounding the moon. That scene made people speechless. Apart from them, there was also a white-clothed figure sitting alone. His surroundings were filled with sword qi. No one dared to approach him. Lin Xian's expression darkened. He could feel that Lin Feng's sword intent had increased and was comparable to his own. It seems like this guy also had a fortuitous encounter. Lin Xian took a deep breath. Although he wasn't confident that he could defeat Lin Feng couldn't do anything to him. Lin Xian's eyes flickered with sword light as he clenched his fists. Back then, you chased me out of the Sword Lake Mansion. I will make you pay for this humiliation at the clan meeting. Lin Xian's expression was firm as a dragon's roar resounded from his body. What he wanted was not to be evenly matched, but to be completely crushed. He wanted to beat down this person who had framed him. There's still half a year. Lin Xian calmed himself down and looked towards the Linggu Mountain. Only an Earth rank martial art could allow him to advance by leaps and bounds in half a year. Chapter 274. Lin Xian, He actually dares to appear. Countless people cried out in alarm. Then, greedy eyes gathered on his body. In the distance, the disciples of the Mu clan saw Lin Xian, and their eyes were filled with killing intent. Especially Mu Rong. Her beautiful eyes seemed like they could spit fire. Her left arm was empty, and her sleeve was fluttering in the wind. Lin Xian, you will pay a painful price. Brother Mu Qin, that little brat killed Mui and cut off my arm. You must avenge us. Mu Rong gnashed her teeth and said. The young man in the middle opened his eyes. His pupils seemed to contain stars. He looked at the distant figure of Lin Xian and said in a low voice, Don't worry. When the Linggu mountain opens, I will take his life. Mu Chen's voice was low and steady. It was as if he was talking about a trivial matter. Mu Rong also calmed down. Although Lin Xian was strong, in front of Mu Chen he was not strong enough. The Mu clan became silent again. Although the others were excited, no one dared to be the first to attack. Lin Feng stood up. An invisible sword energy surrounded him and countless sword marks appeared on the ground around him. Just as he was about to attack, a group of people came from the distance. It was the disciples of the Black Wind sect. Brother Ling Feng, this is bad. Someone cried out in alarm. Why are you shouting? Brother Ling Feng is resting. A disciple of the Black Wind sect scolded. Those people were Du Fei and his group. When they saw Lin Xian in the distance, their bodies trembled and their eyes were filled with fear. Senior brother, that Lin Xian stole our treasured weapons and killed senior brother Gafeng. Moreover, senior brother Du Fei's cultivation has been crippled. A group of people said with sullen faces. What? This news made the nearby cultivators' faces change. They looked at Lin Xian in alarm. Many people secretly rejoiced that they did not attack. Lin Xian even dared to kill the disciples of the Blackwind sect, let alone them. The cultivators beside Ling Feng heard this, and their faces turned ferocious. Bastard, you think the Blackwind sect is easy to bully? I'll go and kill him. Someone immediately said coldly. Senior brother. Someone shouted. Why don't we let senior brother Ling Fengzi? What do you mean? Do you think I can't beat a martial artist in the 7th layer of the spiritual ocean tier? That disciple's face darkened. No. I definitely don't mean to look down on senior brother. But that brat is a little strange. Senior brother Gafeng was killed by him in one move, and senior brother Du Fei was also defeated in one move. One move. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. The originally arrogant martial artist also quieted down. His strength was indeed stronger than Du Fei and Gafeng, but not by much. If Lin Xian could kill Gafeng in one move, then he would be courting death if he went up. Why did you take so long to tell me such important information? Are you trying to get me killed? That martial artist's tone was cold. The others trembled, not daring to speak. Wang. At this moment, Ling Fengzi suddenly opened his eyes, causing the surrounding air to tremble, spreading out like water ripples. All of the Black Wind sect's disciples kept their mouths shut, not even daring to breathe heavily. Senior brother, you have to take revenge for me. Du Fei said with an unwilling expression. Trash. Black Wind sect's face has been completely lost by you. Ling Fengzi opened his eyes, causing a violent wind to blow. Senior brother, I know my mistake. Du Fei knelt down with a plop. I hope senior brother can take revenge for me. I guarantee that our Du family will be your staunch supporters in the future. All right, stand up. Ling Fengzi said in a deep voice. I will give you an explanation for this matter. Du Fei wasn't an ordinary disciple. His grandfather was an elder of the Black Wind sect, and his cultivation had reached the harmonious spirit realm. If the Du family could stand behind Ling Fengzi, then his position in the sect would rise again. With this relationship, Ling Fengzi decided to stand up for him. Just as the Black Wind sect was discussing matters, many people arrived, causing the place to become lively again. At this moment, Lin Feng and Ling Fengzi both looked at Lin Xian, and the others also looked over. In a moment, Lin Xian became the focus of attention again. Facing those unfriendly gazes, Lin Xian looked calm and stood with his hands clasped behind his back. This kid is quite a character. In the distance, a handsome young man was standing beside Bai Ling. He was the eldest disciple of the Yu Hua sect, Zhao Jia. Lin Xian, hand over the token, and I will spare your life. Lin Feng said coldly, whether you hand over the token or not, I will kill you. On the other side, Ling Fengzi was ruthless. This attitude again. Lin Xian sneered, do you really think that you are high above and can decide everything? If you don't reach this level, you will never know how insignificant you are. Ling Fengzi said in a deep voice. Is that so? Lin Xian's lips curved into a smile. Then let me experience your strength. Finished speaking, the great dragon's sword intent in his body surged, and a huge sword shadow appeared behind him with a huge dragon circling above it. With the sword in hand, Lin Xian's aura changed. It was like a divine sword unsheathed, giving people a feeling of infinite pressure. What a terrifying sword intent! The surrounding cultivators all retreated, their faces pale. Small success, sword intent. That is small success, sword intent. No wonder he is so confident, someone in the crowd exclaimed. Comprehending sword intent was already a 1 in 10,000 genius, not to mention small success, sword intent. This kind of person was also 1 in 100 among the geniuses who comprehended sword intent. Buzz! Another burst of sword will rose into the air, clashing with Lin Xian's sword will of the great dragon. Oh my God! Another small success, sword intent. Everyone was shocked to find that Lin Feng, who was wearing white, was like a god of death, unstoppable. Behind him, there was a huge blood-red sword that was like a maple tree, emitting a terrifying qi. On the side, Ling Fengzi's body surged with spiritual energy, like the source of wind, blowing out endless gales. Even his body became illusory. Seeing that the battle was about to start, the Lingwu mountain also changed. Boom! 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 The air shook and the 5 peaks seemed to come alive, emitting dazzling rays of light. The clouds in the sky were dispersed, and the sky seemed to be pierced, forming 5 pillars of light that connected the heavens and the earth. Immediately after, the sound of chanting could be heard from the Lingwu mountain. The entire mountain burst into countless rays of light, enveloping the surrounding 100 miles. At that moment, everyone's heart was empty and they entered into a very special state. It was as if all the incomprehensible questions about cultivation had been solved. Lin Xian was astonished. He realized that at that moment his understanding of sword intent had become even more thorough. This is the Lingwu mountain? As expected, it is terrifying. Lin Xian exclaimed. Just 1 ray of light was enough to make him understand. This method was too astonishing. Swish! 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 At that moment, countless eyes were looking at the Lingwu mountain with endless passion and excitement. Buzz! 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 Lin Xian, Ling Fengzi, and Mu Chen's bodies were suffused with light. A palm-sized stone token appeared above their heads, constantly floating in the air. Let's go. Now is not the time to lose. Someone was blinded by desire and rushed up. Swoosh! 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 Dozens of people rushed up and rushed towards Lin Xian. There were also some people who rushed towards Ling Fengzi and Mu Chen. Swoosh! A dazzling sword radiance lit up like a ferocious, roaring dragon rushing out. Chapter 275. Lin Feng's dragon sword energy was surging, and everything within a 10 zhang radius was enveloped by the light of the sword. Lin Xian attacked with his sword, and a cold light shone in all directions. The ground cracked, and the air shook. The people who were rushing towards him were all pierced by the sword qi. A bloody mist filled the air. Lin Feng's cold-killing intent woke everyone up. Many of the cultivators retreated in fear. They didn't dare think of anything else. At that moment, Ling Feng, Zi, Mu Qin, and the others were surrounded by corpses. The ground was dyed red with blood. The scene quieted down for a moment. It was terrifyingly quiet. Ling Fengzi and Mu Qin took the stone token and flew towards the huge light pillar. Lin Xian was surprised. He also wanted to move, but Lin Feng smiled coldly and blocked his way. 3 strikes. If I can't defeat you in 3 strikes, I won't steal your talisman. Lin Feng was full of confidence. Lin Feng didn't put Lin Xian in his eyes at all. All right. Lin Xian replied in a deep voice. He was standing in his original position with a cold and detached expression. Even if it was a battle to the death, he wouldn't be afraid. I'll let you know how stupid your idea is. Lin Xian's eyes were filled with battle intent. Bzzz. The air was shaking. Lin Feng quickly unsheathed his black sword and attacked. The maple sword energy behind him was dazzling like maple leaves. Lin Xian's long sword swept horizontally. The broken moon sword qi was flying at full speed. It looked like a half moon was flying towards him. Ding, ding, ding. The sound of metal colliding spread in the air. Sparks were flying in the air. The ground was collapsing, and a terrifying crack appeared in the air. Red maple, 13 swords. Lin Feng took a step forwards. His body was surrounded by sword qi, and he attacked with all his strength. That sword was too fast. It was as fast as lightning. People didn't have time to react. Lin Feng's low-level sword energy made that sword even more powerful. It looked like it was going to tear the sky apart. Wind cutter. Lin Xian raised both of his hands and brandished his sword. A gigantic dragon roared as if it was going to tear the sky apart. Dang! Dang! In the sky, a ferocious azure dragon collided with the maple leaves. The sound of metal colliding filled the air. A huge explosion occurred in the air. The terrifying energy ball was like the light of the sun, sweeping in all directions. The surrounding cultivators retreated in horror, fearing that they would be caught in the crossfire. Some of the slower ones were sent flying by this force. 2 attacks had already passed. Lin Xian and Lin Feng were evenly matched. Lin Feng looked glum. He hadn't thought that Lin Xian's sword energy would grow to such an extent. It was even stronger than his own. Fortunately, his cultivation was strong enough to make up for the gap in sword intent. However, no matter what, he had to take down Lin Xian in this 3rd move. Lin Feng's black hair was fluttering in the wind. He looked like a demon. His body swayed, pressing down on Lin Xian like a mountain, the long sword in his hand firmly locked onto Lin Xian. Sword sealing all directions. The maple leaf sword will pierce through all directions, causing the ground to crack. Countless sword qi flew out from the ground, forming a dense sword screen. Thick sword qi slashed down from the sky. It was as if a huge maple tree was falling down, bringing with it an aura that could crush everything. Lin Xian's heart was heavy. He didn't dare to be careless. He could feel the terror of this sword. This force could definitely seal a half-step harmonious spirit expert. The surrounding space was completely sealed. The sky and the ground were filled with terrifying sword qi. He had no way to retreat. Flying rainbow. Lin Xian's long sword slanted, drawing an inexplicable trajectory in the air. A rainbow-like sword qi flew out quickly, hitting the maple leaf sword screen, tearing a human-shaped crack. Flying rainbow, the 4th move of the green cloud sword art. Lin Xian finally used it in this critical moment. Swoosh! The sword screen was broken. Lin Xian's cloak shook, turning into a blur, and flew out. The place where he was originally standing was now surrounded by 4 sword screens, destroying everything inside. A 10-meter deep hole appeared on the ground. It was so deep that the bottom couldn't be seen. Red maple leaf, sword chi, was moving around the hole. The warriors in the distance were stunned. They had only seen this kind of technique from their elders. They didn't expect these 2 youngsters to be able to use it. 3 moves have passed. Do you want to continue? Lin Xian asked in a deep voice. No need. Lin Feng snorted. Wait until my red maple sword is completed. That will be the day you die. Lin Feng's body flashed, flying towards the Linggu mountain. Lin Xian looked at the departing figure and slightly shook his head. He wasn't sure if he could kill Lin Feng yet, so he wasn't in a hurry. Who else? He looked around and asked in a deep voice, We want the Buddha token. A cold voice was heard. 5 figures flew out and surrounded Lin Xian. Looking at the 5 majestic voices, the crowd exclaimed, 5 Tiger Blade, I didn't expect them to come. I heard that the 5 brothers of the Sun family once fought against a harmonious spirit warrior together. This Lin Xian is in danger. Lin Xian is dead for sure. Too bad I can't kill him myself. Du Fei's face was ferocious. Lin Xian looked at the 5 of them with a gloomy expression. This isn't a one-on-one fight. Hand over the Buddha token, and we 5 brothers won't kill you. Otherwise, you can just wait for your death. A muscular man shouted, Big brother, why are you wasting your breath on him? We must get the Buddha token. The other 4 brothers shouted coldly. If you want the Buddha token, then let's see if you have the ability. Lin Xian's voice was cold. Today he had to make a name for himself. Otherwise, there would be more and more trouble. 5 Tiger Formation. As the leader of the formation, Sun Da's body shook. He unsheathed the long blade on his back and let out a tiger's roar. Dang, dang, dang. 5 tiger head blades emitted a dazzling light as they danced in the air. Among the 5 brothers of the Sun family, Sunda and Sun Air were the strongest. They were half-step, harmonious spirit warriors. The other 3 brothers were at the peak of the 7th spirit sea realm. With the 5 of them forming a formation, it was enough to show disdain for all the heroes, worthy of being the Linggu mountain. It actually attracted such strong experts. Lin Xian was shocked. He could feel the terror of these 5 brothers. He was afraid that even Lin Feng or Ling Feng Zi wouldn't be able to gain an advantage in their hands. However, Lin Xian wasn't afraid. This kind of opponent was just right to intimidate the heroes. 5 tiger slaughter. Sun shouted loudly and slashed out with his long blade. A huge white, spotted tiger suddenly rushed out and pounced at Lin Xian. The 5 brothers of the Sun family emitted a bright light. Mysterious runes flickered under their feet, forming a close connection with each other. 5 fierce tigers slashed at Lin Xian from 5 different directions. That terrifying power directly tore the air apart. The ground trembled as if there was an earthquake. This kind of attack could easily kill an ordinary half-step, harmonious spirit warrior. Lin Xian flipped his palm and a yellowish picture scroll appeared above his head. Buzz! The picture scroll emitted a hazy light that shrouded Lin Xian. On the surface of his body, a black mountain rapidly appeared and kept expanding. In the end, it formed the shadow of a huge mountain. Clang! 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 5 white tigers slashed at the black mountain, producing a violent rumbling sound. A monstrous chi wave swept in all directions with a whistling sound. Slash! Lin Xian shouted in a low voice. A silver river appeared in the picture scroll. It was as sharp as a heavenly blade. With a flash of silver light, the 5 white tigers were cut in half at the waist. Mountain River Scroll. The surrounding warriors were shocked as if they had seen a ghost. Isn't this the treasure of the Mu family? Why is it in the hands of this brat? Many people looked at the disciples of the Mu family with puzzlement in their eyes. The disciples of the Mu family were sullen and their hearts were going crazy. Mu Rong was so angry that her face turned pale. She gritted her teeth. Bastard! How dare you use the treasure of the Mu family against the enemy? Mu Rong's face was terrifyingly dark. The 5 brothers of the Sun family looked dignified. Of course, they had heard of the prestige of the Mountain River Scroll. However, it was obviously not enough to scare them. Chapter 276. The Mountain River Picture Scroll appeared in the air, and thousands of rays of light fell down, covering Lin Xian. The 5 brothers of the Sun family looked serious as they each waved out a sharp blade light. The blade light that was dozens of meters long tore through the sky, filling the area with killing intent. The surrounding warriors turned pale, as if their bodies were being torn apart by a strange force. Cut! 5 dazzling saber flashes came crashing down, all aimed at Lin Xian. Mountain River Protection. Lin Xian crazily activated the Mountain River Picture Scroll, and the shadow of the Black Mountain became even more real. In addition, there was a silver river surrounding him. Boom! The Black Mountain shook, and the silver river surged, making a rumbling sound. This blade attack made the mountains and rivers lose their color. Lin Xian was slightly surprised. His palms kept changing seals, controlling the Mountain River Picture Scroll. The rays of light shone brightly, and Lin Xian's defense became even thicker. After getting out of danger, he let out a breath. What a horrifying blade formation! No wonder they said they could fight against a harmonious spirit realm warrior. Show me your true strength, or you won't have a chance, Lin Xian said with a deep voice. What an arrogant kid. We showed mercy just now. Since you don't know what's good for you, don't blame us for being merciless. Sun Air said coldly. Big brother, use the 5 tiger soul shattering. Hearing this, Sun pondered for a while, and then suddenly nodded. All right. Haha, kid, this is our ultimate move. You better surrender now. Sun Air laughed evilly. 5 tiger body solidification. The spirit power of the 5 brothers of the Sun family surged, and they gradually turned into a ferocious tiger, roaring towards the sky. The horrifying roar shook the 9 heavens, and many weaker warriors were shaken to the point of vomiting blood. Lin Xian's eyes moved. He held the Autumn Scar sword, and the sword intent in his body was ready to be unleashed. A low dragon roar was heard, fighting against the tiger roar. The air rippled like boiling water, making the air crackle. The dragon roar and tiger roar made the space extremely dangerous. Lightning appeared in the air and struck the ground, creating a bottomless black hole. 5 tiger soul shattering. Sun shouted, and the 5 brothers of the Sun family all raised their long sabers high, their movements uniform. In the void, 5 white tigers with terrifying auras coiled around the blade, roaring continuously with their bloody mouths wide open. With every roar, the aura of the 5 Sun brothers grew stronger. After the 5th sound, the long saber suddenly fell. Sword light flashed on Lin Xian's body, and 40% of the great dragon sword will soared into the sky. The mountains and rivers around him became even more real. A green light appeared and a dragon roared. A huge green dragon, sword shadow, appeared in the mountains and rivers. The huge dragon claw pressed against the black mountain peak. Every dragon scale was as sharp as a sword. Azure dragon breaks the moon. With a slash of the sword light illuminated all directions. The azure dragon and the white tiger collided, and an earth-shattering sound shook the heavens and the earth. The area within 100 meters was completely covered in a greenish-white color. Even Ling Fengzi and Mu Qin in the distance frowned when they saw this. Rumble! A thunderous sound came out from the greenish-white storm. Then 5 figures flew out and fell on the ground. It's the 5 brothers of the Sun family. They were defeated. The people in the distance exclaimed. This result was too unexpected. It was rumored that the 5 brothers of the Sun family had fought against harmonious spirit warriors before. Even if they couldn't win against Lin Xian, they could at least protect themselves. But they didn't expect to be defeated so thoroughly. The sword qi and saber light dissipated. Lin Xian stood with his sword in hand. His aura was extremely powerful. He glanced around, and the warriors lowered their heads, not daring to look at him directly. 1 man and 1 sword suppressed everyone to the point that they couldn't raise their heads. Retracting his gaze, Lin Xian flew towards the Linggu mountain with the Buddha token. Swoosh! A ray of light flashed and rushed towards Lin Xian like a divine spear. Lin Xian was in the air and couldn't borrow any force. He was about to be hit by the divine light. It's Mu Chen. Lin Xian is in danger. The people below exclaimed. Humph! Brother Mu Chen is here. Lin Xian is dead for sure. Mu Rong sneered. I'll cut off all your limbs and destroy your cultivation. I'll make you live like a dog in this world. At this critical moment, Lin Xian's black cloak fluttered, creating an impact force. Swoosh! Lin Xian's body swayed and turned into a ray of black light. He quickly rushed to the side and dodged the fierce attack. How is this possible? He can borrow force in the air. Mu Rong's beautiful eyes widened. She was momentarily suffocated. Those below the harmonious spirit realm didn't have the ability to fly. Even if there were some martial techniques that could allow one to stay in the air for a short period of time, it was impossible to change direction like Lin Xian did. Even Mu Qin was pondering. His gaze was fixed on Lin Xian's black cloak. Lin Xian landed on the ground with a face full of fear. If that attack had hit him, he would have been seriously injured. Thinking of this, his eyes flashed with a golden sword light. Mu Qin! Lin Xian shouted and used the dragon inverse steps to move quickly. Clang! A crisp sound was heard. His long sword was unsheathed with the power of wind and thunder. The sword qi was like a rainbow, forming a light tail that was dozens of meters long. It slashed towards Mu Qin. The surrounding people were stunned. They didn't expect Lin Xian to suddenly attack. Even Mu Chen's face darkened. You're courting death. Mu Chen was a proud son of the heavens. He didn't put Lin Xian in his eyes. Not only did Lin Xian kill his clansmen, but he also stole the mountain and river scroll. How could he tolerate this? Mu Chen humphed coldly. He shook the fan in his hand and suddenly opened it. His whole body exploded like the sun. Swoosh! 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 The fan shone brightly like a second sun. The sun and moon fan is indeed powerful. Ling Feng, Zi whispered. If you have time to watch the battle, why don't we exchange a few moves? Lin Feng quickly rushed towards Ling Fengzi. In a flash, 2 balls of light exploded under the Linggu mountain, forming a terrifying storm. Too crazy! The people in the distance were shocked. Lin Xian and Lin Feng were fighting against Mu Chen and Ling Fengzi respectively. It was a crazy battle. The sun and moon fan was swung with endless heat. The terrifying fan shadow covered the whole area as if a sun was pressing down on them. The surrounding mountains and the ground were pierced by the light and melted quickly. The sun and moon fan was a top Xian level treasure. Its power was even more powerful than the mountain and river scroll. It was definitely a powerful weapon. Even a harmonious spirit expert would be shocked by such an attack. Lin Xian held the mountain and river scroll in his left hand and threw out a black mountain. The air shook as if it was about to collapse. At the same time, he thrust out his long sword. The power of wind and thunder was combined with the Black Mountain to attack Muqin. Rumble! The bright light bombarded the Black Mountain. The air was boiling like waves. However, the sun and moon fan's level was higher than the mountain and river scroll. When the sun-like light hit the Black Mountain, it almost melted it. Luckily, there was still the wind and thunder sword chi on the side. The terrifying sword intent resisted the scorching light. Then the two attacks exploded in the air. Swoosh! Muqin's attack missed, and he swung the fan again. This time the fan shadow filled the sky like a cold moon hanging in the sky. Chapter 277. With a wave of the fan, it was like a bright moon in the sky. A cold chill burst out and spread in all directions. The mountain river scroll trembled, and the Milky Way hung in the sky, shining with a silver light, facing the cold moon in the sky. It's useless. Muqin sneered in the distance. The mountain river scroll originally belonged to my Mu clan, and no one is more familiar with it than me. As soon as he finished speaking, the bright moon in the sky rushed over and hit the weak point of the Milky Way, tearing it apart. Wind Slayer! The sword light flashed, and a sharp sword wave rushed over. Lin Xian quickly slashed out with his sword and then dodged to the side. Sun and moon intersect. Muqin's face was cold, and the fan in his hand suddenly fell, shattering the sword chi. The bright moon in the sky quickly enveloped Lin Xian. Reckless fool! You think you can take the Mu clan's treasure? Muqin formed a seal, and the mountain river scroll on Lin Xian's body suddenly flew out, as if it had lost control. Hua! A light flashed, and the mountain river scroll flew into Muqin's hand. The warriors in the distance exclaimed, not daring to believe that Muqin had such a method. Too scary, Muqin is indeed one of the top geniuses. That Lin Xian won't be able to handle it. Ah, he actually provoked the Mu clan. That kid is unlucky. Great. Brother Muqin can definitely kill that kid. The disciples of the Mu clan cheered, and Mu Rong was also excited. As long as we capture Lin Xian, she has ways to torture him to death. If the Mu clan defeats Lin Xian, then they will have 2 Buddha tokens. Bai Ling of the Yuhua clan frowned. Don't worry, there are 5 Buddha tokens in the Lingu Mountain, and only 3 have appeared. There are 2 more. Zhao Jia smiled mysteriously. Seeing Zhao Jia's confidence, Bai Ling was relieved, and she looked at the Lingu Mountain again. At the foot of the mountain, Muqin smiled indifferently, as if everything was under his control. Hand over the Buddha token, and I'll cut off one of your arms, and then destroy your cultivation. Go count out to me 3 times, and I'll spare your life. Isn't it just a lousy painting? What's so great about it? I've already learned these methods, so I don't need them. In the distance, the crowd was also in an uproar. Lin Xian actually said that a high-grade, profound rank artifact was a lousy painting. Wasn't this tone a little too arrogant? Humph. You don't know the immensity of heaven and earth. Muqin's expression gradually turned cold. Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. Mountain River Scroll. With a shake of his hand, Muqin took out the mountain river painting. Suddenly, a majestic mountain appeared in the sky and pressed down on Lin Xian. With a flash of silver light, the brilliant Milky Way slashed out like a heavenly blade. Humph! The treasures of the Mu clan can only be fully utilized by us, the disciples of the Mu clan. Sigh, dying under the mountain and river scroll is also a kind of irony. The 5 Sun brothers sighed. This is your mountain river scroll. Too powerless. Lin Xian roared. Let me show you what the true power of mountains and rivers is. Seal of mountains and rivers. Lin Xian formed a seal with his left palm. His palm suddenly slammed down, and a green mountain rapidly appeared. Lightning surged on top of it, and its momentum was astonishing. Boom! The two mountains collided, causing the entire sky to tremble. The terrifying aura quickly spread out in all directions. The mountains and rivers shattered and the ground sank. Within 100 meters, the entire ground sank by half a meter, as if it was crushed by an invisible hand. Milky Way slash. Lin Xian swung his long sword, and a silver light rushed out. It was like the Milky Way was upside down, and it collided with the mountain river scroll. How is this possible? How can he use the secret technique of the mountain river scroll? The disciples of the Mu clan were stunned, and they stared blankly at the sky. The others were also stunned. The 5 Sun brothers were even more shocked, and they couldn't speak for a long time. Mu Chen's face was gloomy. He naturally didn't know that Lin Xian had the great dragon sword seal, which could evolve all offensive saint techniques. An illusion. Let's see how many times you can use it. Mu Chen released his spiritual energy, and the painting in the sky flipped, and the mountain river scroll attack was launched. Lin Xian held the seal of mountains and rivers in his left hand, and the long sword in his right hand slashed out a Milky Way sword chi, and he fought with Mu Chen. Boom! The entire sky was annihilated. Sun and Moon fan. Mu Chen was furious. He waved the fan, and the sun and moon intersected. A terrifying energy wave spread in all directions. Sun and Moon seal. Lin Xian roared again. His left hand glowed like the sun, and the long sword in his right hand slashed out a full moon sword chi. No way, this is also possible. The crowd from afar completely collapsed. The sun and moon collided, and Lin Xian and Mu Chen both retreated dozens of steps. Lin Xian, I have indeed underestimated you, but do you still have any spiritual energy left? Mu Chen sneered. Don't forget, I am a half-step harmonious spirit expert. My spiritual energy is much stronger than yours. Don't worry about me. I don't have much spiritual energy left. Lin Xian said in a deep voice. But I have this. After saying that, he took out a cup of spiritual wine and drank it. It smells so good. I am afraid that this spiritual wine is not of a low grade. Damn it! How can he have such a thing? Mu Chen's face turned black. He clenched his fists so hard that his knuckles cracked. This kind of situation made him feel embarrassed. However, Lin Xian did not want both of them to go down and let others take advantage of them. If you are not convinced, we can fight again. After saying that, Lin Xian flew towards one of the light pillars. On the other side, Lin Feng and Ling Feng Zi were still excited. The terrifying sword Qi and wind were destroying everything around them. When Lin Xian arrived at the light pillar, the Buddha token on his head shone even brighter. Rumbling sounds came from the Lingwu mountain again. 2 more tokens appeared in the last 2 light pillars. What? There is another Buddha token. Everyone was surprised, including Lin Xian. Swoosh! Lin Feng saw this from afar. His sword flashed, and he quickly rushed towards one of the light pillars. In the crowd, several silhouettes flew out with terrifying qi towards the last light pillar. Of course, there were also people who rushed towards Lin Feng and the others. The 5 mountain peaks shot down their light pillars. This was their last chance. Everybody was going crazy. Many people joined hands to attack Lin Xian and the others. The terrifying qi made the sky lose its color. Luckily, the Lingwu mountain was extremely hard. Even though it had withstood so many attacks, it was not damaged at all. Lin Xian used the imprint of mountains and rivers and released the sun and moon sword qi. His dragon's sword energy was surging like a demon. He waved his sword, and the sword qi was 80 meters long. It was like a river that was unceasingly flowing. Dozens of silhouettes were blown away. Blood splashed across the sky. The chaotic situation lasted for almost an hour. During that time, Lin Xian had used up his qi twice. Luckily, he had some high-quality qi wine and some earth spirit liquid to protect his life. That was the only way he could withstand the attacks. When the light dispersed, hundreds of people groaned in pain. The 5 light pillars were filled with silhouettes. Apart from Lin Xian, Ling Feng, Zi, and Mu Qin, Lin Feng and Zhao Jia had also obtained Buddha tokens. The 5 strong cultivators were surrounded by the light pillars. Their qi was extremely powerful. Above their heads, the 5 Buddha tokens were rapidly rotating. With a sound, the ancient seal was opened. The Lingwu mountain rumbled and emitted a chanting sound. It was unceasingly attacking everyone's soul. Lin Xian and the other 4 were covered by the light pillars. They were floating towards the 5 mountains. The other cultivators were standing in the distance. Their eyes were filled with envy. I wonder who will obtain the earth-level martial arts. Sun decide. The 5 of them had joined hands, but in the end they had still lost. However, they had accepted their loss wholeheartedly. The 5 people above were the 5 strongest cultivators. It will definitely be our Ling Feng Zi. The Black Wind Sect's disciple said proudly. Chapter 278. How is that possible? It must be our brother Mu Qin. The Mu clan's disciple refused to back down. Lin Xian was enveloped by the resplendent pillar of light as his body gradually turned blurry. The scenery around him rapidly passed by as though time had reversed. When he regained consciousness, there were countless hazy doors around him, waiting for him to make a choice. Each door should be a martial art. You only have one chance. Lord Alcohol reminded him. Which one of them is an earth-tier martial art? Lin Xian looked at the starry doors and was shaken. The number of these flickering portals far exceeded his expectations. Some of the doors were suffused with resplendent light, while others were like fireflies, faintly glowing. Lord Alcohol slowly said, "You can't tell from the surface. Perhaps you can try your fate." Fate? Lin Xian rolled his eyes. Such things were impossible to figure out. Who knew if his fate was good or bad? There are more ahead. Why don't I take a look? Lin Xian's mind stirred as he set off ahead. Countless hazy doors passed by him, bringing with them an inexplicable aura that tugged at his heart. Buzz! A door of light resonated with him, spewing out dazzling rays of light. Could this be my fate? Lin Xian was slightly taken aback. His eyes flickered as he used his soul spirit to observe, but he didn't discover anything. Is it really this? For some reason, Lin Xian was unwilling to give up. If you can't decide immediately, why don't you give up? Lord Alcohol said solemnly. Lin Xian fell silent. He quickly turned around and chose to give up. His subconscious told him that there was an even better martial art waiting for him ahead. A moment later, another door of light appeared. Traces of fluctuations were emitted from within, shocking everyone. This aura made Lin Xian's heart tremble. Could it be an earth-tier martial art? Lin Xian was tempted. Buzz! Buzz! The palm-sized key in his storage ring suddenly glowed, flickering indeterminately. Lin Xian was astonished as he took it out and placed it in his palm. The key was simple and unadorned, and its surface was very rough. If it was thrown on the ground, no one would notice it. However, Lin Xian was extremely excited. He had obtained this key together with the Buddha token. These doors are all illusory, so there is no need for keys. However, I have one in my hand, and something strange has happened. Could there be a door here that needs to be unlocked? Lin Xian wondered. That must be it. A smile appeared on his face as he gave up on the light door that was suspected to be an earth-rank martial art. I hope you can lead me to the real treasure, the stone key turned and pointed out a direction. Moreover, it was trembling incessantly. Lin Xian grasped the stone, key firmly, and his body turned into a stream of light as he dashed out. Not long after, a stone door appeared in front of him. It was very simple and unadorned, and there was no light at all. This was a very ordinary door that could be seen everywhere in the outside world. But for it to appear here at this moment, it seemed a little strange. Lin Xian glanced around and found a hidden groove in the center of the stone door, shaped like a keyhole. "It's really here." "Since you've found it, hurry up and open it," Lord Alcohol transmitted. Lin Xian held the key and slowly turned it, as though it was in the groove. Crack! Crack! Two soft sounds were heard as the stone door slowly opened, revealing a hazy light screen. Stepping in, Lin Xian's body flashed and appeared in a strange space. In front of him was a huge green longsword that was as thick as a heavenly pillar. It was stabbed into the ground. A sharp killing intent came from it, and Lin Xian was shocked. He felt like he was a small boat that could be overturned by the waves at any time. The huge green longsword was engraved with complicated patterns. It was very simple and unadorned, as though it had experienced countless years. Lin Xian took 2 steps forward and immediately felt strong vicissitude aura. He could vaguely hear the sound of thousands of soldiers and horses galloping. Earth rank martial art. Lin Xian took a deep breath. This kind of aura could only be possessed by a legendary Earth rank martial art. Lin Xian realized that this kind of aura could easily kill a harmonious spirit expert. As he walked forward, Lin Xian felt a huge pressure coming from all directions. The terrifying aura seemed to want to tear him apart. "Try the Wind Emperor's sword," Lord Alcohol reminded. Lin Xian nodded and urged the Wind Emperor's sword to move forward slowly. Sure enough, the pressure lessened, and Lin Xian heaved a sigh of relief. Lin Xian came to the front of the green longsword and reached out to touch it gently. The moment he came into contact with the giant green sword, the entire space seemed to boil. In a daze, Lin Xian seemed to see the green long sword slashing down from the sky. The sky was torn apart, and a terrifying black hole spread across the sky. The surrounding mountains and rivers were shattered, and the ground cracked. It was like the end of the world. Buzz! Lin Xian's body trembled as he retreated from the miraculous illusion. He felt a chill on his back and realized that he was drenched. So terrifying, so domineering. He took 2 steps back and slowly raised his head. On the sword hilt, there were 2 simple and unadorned words that carried a mysterious power. "Gale!" Lin Xian muttered. After saying that, he circled around the green longsword and realized that there were 2 ancient words behind it. Lightning Pursuit. Gale Lightning Sword. Could this earth rank martial art also contain the power of wind and lightning? Lin Xian was delighted as he stared at the green longsword. "How do I get it?" He frowned. This item was indeed powerful. Even an expert in the spirit realm wouldn't be able to take it away. Lord Alcohol said slowly. "What? Even an expert in the spirit realm wouldn't be able to take it away?" Lin Xian was stunned. He didn't expect such a situation. "Then what should I do? Do I have to return empty-handed?" His face was bitter. "Hee, Lord Alcohol, do you have any ideas?" Lin Xian asked while scratching his head. "Humph." Lord Alcohol snorted. "Of course." "Really?" Lin Xian beamed and quickly asked, "What should I do? Are you going to take this green longsword?" "There's no need for me to do it," Lord Alcohol said. "Have you forgotten that you still have a heaven-defying treasure in your body?" Heaven-defying treasure? Lin Xian was at a loss. Other than the great dragon sword intent and Lord Alcohol, he didn't seem to have anything else. "Stupid. Where do I live?" Lord Alcohol said in disdain. "Aya." Lin Xian smacked his head. There was a small glazed sword in his body that was abnormally mysterious. Even Lord Alcohol was temporarily residing in it. However, after the small sword entered his body, it didn't do anything. As time passed, he had forgotten about it. That small sword has such a use? Humph, what do you know? This small sword has a terrifying origin, so it naturally has endless uses. Otherwise, I wouldn't have ended up like this because of it. Lord Alcohol said angrily, "It's just that your cultivation is too low, so you can't activate it." Lin Xian took a deep breath and tried to activate the mysterious small sword in his body. The mysterious small sword trembled slightly and emitted a sword wave that quickly shot out of Lin Xian's body. The sword wave carried a mysterious aura as it rapidly flew towards the green longsword in front of him. Rumble! Under Lin Xian's nervous gaze, the green longsword that resembled a heavenly pillar began to tremble violently. You're tuning in to the Thunder Spear YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.